Do you like how you look on your guys' podcast?
Yeah, it's all right.
Because sometimes you're not wearing glasses. That's when I like how you look. Because I hate 4-eyed freaks. I'm glad you're not wearing. I'm glad you're wearing your weird contacts because you'd look like shit. Because 4-eyed. With the glasses, 4-eyed fucking fuck 4-eyed people.
He wears glasses. That's why he says it.
Some of us can pull it off. I'm just saying. Maybe a lo mejor tú no.
Oh.
She reminds me of Itzel.
A little bit, yeah. Oh, I think I told Itzel too. Itzel looks like shit with her glasses.
Oh my god.
Stupid fucking 4-eyes. Hate 4-eyed people. You know, they shouldn't even been born. Like, you can't even fucking see. What kind of fucking shit is that? I'm just kidding. I hate white people too.
Oh, thanks.
But no, we've established.
She's not white. She's goth.
She's goth.
Right.
Hate white people. I hate a lot of people. Where are we at here? You guys ready or what?
Sure.
We've been going, I guess.
We're just kind of going with it.
Yeah, I used to like tell you guys what episode we were on and shit. I don't really do that anymore.
Just start saying random numbers.
This is episode 77 of season 5.
Passed that like so long
No,
ago.
we're like in the 60s, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure though.
Okay.
No se para?
This mic. No se para.
No se para.
So you got the ED mic?
Oh no.
We'll leave it like that.
Wait,
it doesn't keep going? It keeps going?
Look at it.
I'm always doing it's that mic. I'm always doing it like
no.
Yeah. We got to treat our guests like that.
There you go.
You just have to get the perfect angle.
So
there you go.
be like
I know how
There
to
you
work it now.
She knows how to work it so
I know
that
how
it
to work
stays.
with disabilities and everything.
Yeah. Well. But yeah, this is Roddy Radio episode 238. We're here with Maria. We're here with Madagascar Peligro. We're here with a very special guest from the No Sabo podcast.
I don't know that I'm very special, but I'll take it.
Special enough. Special enough to be here. Special enough to be here. Iverice. That's a cool name. Like I've never have heard that name before.
Yeah, me either.
Did your parents make it up?
Según mi papá, he says he heard it on TV, but after working at Molucca, which I know you worked there before, right?
We worked at Melapelas together, huh? Mm-hmm. I remember hearing they used to call you Rice. I didn't know you, but you worked on the other side of the building, like in sales or what?
No, I worked in the call center.
Well, yeah, but like where people were just calling you guys replace the orders.
Yeah,
I was on the other side. On business development, so we were all the way on the other side.
He was in BD.
I was hired straight into business development, and so then I would just show up drunk all the time.
Oh my god! You know what? I tried to get into business development.
No, you didn't make it. No, but I was gonna say it's not like you failed the panel or something.
No, it was. Were you there when Randy Lozano was there?
Sí.
Ese güey.
Ese güey me cae gordo.
Hey, por
eso. He probably wouldn't have hired me. I got hired by the guy before him, the old fat white guy.
Yeah.
Which I shouldn't hate white people because he was nice enough to hire me. He was impressed by me, and then that other fool wasn't.
Yeah.
But didn't that fool get fired too, though?
Randy?
Yeah.
Sí.
Yeah, upside down. You know, that's the people you get. You know.
But anyways, going back to I remember when I was on the phones and we would get calls from Puerto Rico. There were some ladies que se llamaban Iverice.
With an L.
With an L.
Are you sure? But that's just how they pronounce their R's, though.
No, but that's how it was spelled.
It was spelled with an L.
And so then I was like, are you sure you didn't hear Iverice and then you thought it was supposed to be with an R and then you just...
But if you go...
But I like it in English, Iverice. Yeah. Like, I like that.
Is that, I was going to say, like, because is that how you say it in English?
Yeah, Iverice.
Really?
That's how I say it.
Oh, that's a
but
nice
there's
name.
all kinds of ways.
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Because everybody else... Well, not me. Me and you are feeling okay. But Maddie ruptured her abdominal muscles. And Maria over there just...
We're both crippled there.
She got stitched up in the hoo-ha and then she got a tattoo just now, so...
Not in the hoo-ha, but it was like in my stomach, yes.
He just has to say everything a lot more dramatic than it is.
Just making sure. Because she didn't really rupture her abdominal muscles. She's just feeling a little under the weather as far as
I think I feel okay.
Is that why you wore the sweatpants? So that it's looser on your
Yeah, like
on
I didn't
your belly?
want to wear like... Because because I always wear pants with like a belt and everything, and I was like, I'm not fucking doing that. So
How did it happen?
apparently, I exercised too hard. Didn't know you could do that, but
Oh yeah, you definitely can.
But
I've never had that problem in my life.
ejercicio.
But apparently, so now I'm like, guess I'm taking it easy for a while.
Oh, dang it.
Do you work out regularly?
Me?
Yeah.
I used to, and then I quit because I got a normal job, so I couldn't go to the gym at like 11 to 3 a.m. anymore. Because I don't want to be around people. That sucks. So I quit going to the gym, and then I just recently started trying to work out at home again. So
New Year's resolution.
Should get one of those push-up boards from TikTok. I've been wanting to buy one of those for a while.
I can't. I don't know. I feel like all of those are just like schemes.
I bet you it's chafa-ass plastic that's going to break
I
on you
can't.
and shit.
I don't know. So I just have like some regular
Like,
weights.
you're going to get
I
on
just
it and
do,
it's going to break and then you're going to feel bad
crunches
about
or like
yourself.
Russian twists or just like, I just do shit like that. Or I guess
Obviously,
like
that's too much.
calisthenics or whatever.
Because now her belly button started bleeding.
What?
Your belly button.
Oh, not mine. Kind of. No,
No,
but
hers.
it's crazy.
From
like
the exercise.
you're trying to like better yourself, like trying to do good for your body, and then you end up messing it up.
Right? It's like what the
sign.
fuck?
Yeah.
This would have never happened if you just like chilled and ate some pork rinds or something.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
But anyway, so you're off of a podcast also from
Yeah.
the No Sabo. Yeah, I don't like that term. I'm gonna start off by saying that the whole No Sabo thing.
Yeah.
Hate that shit.
Let me just say it right now. It was not my idea.
It's obviously you didn't name the show, but it's just always like, and not too long ago, someone called us No Sabos on one of our protest posts, and I was like,
Really?
first of all, that doesn't
yeah.
apply to me. Second of all, I fucking hate that term because all it does is divide raza even more than
Yeah.
we're already divided.
Yeah.
It's like we're all the fucking same. I don't care if you
Yeah.
know how to speak Spanish. I mean, I am gonna judge you, but I'm not gonna think any less of you. Quite honestly, those are two different things.
I literally do that to my brother every single day at work. I'm like, dude, stop. Because he says andamos all the time in vez estamos all the time. Or he'll be like, no platicamos. No, it's no hablamos.
At least he's trying, and he's
Yeah.
got to get good at it.
But I'm
with the
like, dude, you were
restaurant.
born in Mexico. Like, quit it. I'll give it to my other two brothers that were born here and raised here. But I'm like, you were born and raised in Mexico. Stop
He
it.
was raised in Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
He was 2 when we came here, but I mean, it's still no excuse.
Yeah.
But our parents don't speak
mean-
Spanish. I mean English. So how
Yeah.
do like?
That's what surprises me. A lot of people that don't no se acostumbran to speak Spanish and their parents don't. I'm like, do you guys just not talk to your parents? Like, I
Yeah.
talk to my
Dude,
parents a
my
lot.
my
Like,
kids my
still.
kids are not no sabo kids. Like they speak perfect Spanish and English.
I make sure to talk to your kids a lot in Spanish when I'm hanging
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
your-
Yeah, they speak perfect Spanish.
And I swear a lot
Like-
around them, and I'm like, shit, I don't know if I'm supposed to be swearing around these
They're
kids. Or
Yeah, I
not.
had to think about that when we were at the
They're
restaurant. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, should I not be saying some of this?
They're the worst.
When we were
Forget
at the
I'm
re-
around kids.
we were at the restaurant with your kids, and that chinita that was there. She was like, she worked there, but she was like having her meal.
Oh yeah.
And like, I'm used to just being out with adults. Like, your daughter's next to me, and I'm like, yeah, la chinita. I was like, fuck. Never mind. She's like, what the fuck? And then she was like, do you mean Asians? Well, you know how Mexicans are. Todos son chinitos para nosotros. I'm like,
She's Thai.
I'm like, yeah, whatever she was. She was cute. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't be talking about look at this chick to a little 13-year-old girl, I felt bad for a little bit, but
That's funny.
No, but yeah, I'm like my kids, like their dad doesn't speak English, so like they have to know Spanish perfect,
Yeah.
I made sure until they were 5 years old I only spoke Spanish to them
That's
because
good.
they're gonna learn English. Within the first week they were speaking
I
English.
didn't do that.
So
do your kids not know Spanish?
They know Spanish, but
They don't speak it.
they don't speak it as much as I'd like them to.
My oldest is really good with it. My youngest, she's only 3 years old.
Yeah.
Entiende todo. We'll talk to her in Spanish, and she understands. And
Yeah.
she'll even like, she'll sit there and like, you'll tell her something in English, and she, ¿cómo se dice? Like, lo traduce. And but everything she says is in English. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
You
I'm like, you practically live with your grandma, their mom's mom, who
Yeah.
doesn't know any English. I'm like, how the hell Like, it's the same thing. I was like, why do you only speak English? You spend all day with this old lady that doesn't know any English.
And
How
she's
the
3,
fuck?
right? So
Yeah.
she's not even in school yet.
No.
That's true.
Dang.
Pero todo lo que ve.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's
It's
what it
all
is.
in
It's all the
English.
content they consume. And shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like, are they like an iPad kid or something? Or like watching TV
Yeah.
like
That's what
constantly?
sucks
So,
about
like,
me not having custody of them. Like, they would not be iPad kids if they were with me.
Yeah.
Like, I refuse to buy them iPads. Like, watch fucking TV. That's Back to the Future too. Ahí Latino with when they go to the future and they're like watching television for a change. That's how I feel. Like, I'm like, you guys are watching a movie for once. Like, instead of watching fucking 30-second YouTube shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But so how do you feel about that term, no sabo then?
I don't know. I don't. I haven't really thought about it too much. I think when we came up with I shouldn't say I just kind of got brought into it, to be honest. They were just like, you want to be on it? And I was like, sure.
Yeah. I got nothing better to do with my
Yeah,
life.
I was just like, okay. So I don't consider it my podcast. Like, I don't say, oh, this is what I want to do with it. Like, I have no. To me, I listen
week after week. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't.
Oh,
I'll tell you that much. Because that's like the most conservative podcast, which is why I like it too,
Yeah.
though. Because every other podcast, like locally, and everybody's so worried about their business, and everybody's so worried that they don't talk about this
Yeah.
stuff. So it's refreshing to hear that you guys do bring up politics and
Yeah.
talk about these things, even though I don't agree with 2/3 of it. You know, it's like at least they're fucking talking about it. But and it's crazy because you're like, you go from like the most conservative podcast, and now you're here with like the gayest podcast in Southeast
is
Idaho.
this the gayest podcast?
I've had the gayest podcast. We used to say that about Alta Red too, because Bonbon would always be on, and I'd be like, we're by default we're now the gayest podcast.
I mean, I guess like last one you had me on was just like my friends showing you crystals the whole
Yeah,
time.
that was pretty gay. That was the gayest thing I've ever been a
Talking
part
about
of.
like yoni eggs or whatever.
Yeah. You know what a yoni egg is? Oh, it's this crystal that's shaped like an egg that women put into their vaginas.
I have heard of that.
What?
So
Yeah,
that
and
they,
like try and like exercise it and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like,
and it's supposed
What
to
if
give you
it, like,
superpowers.
Goes
your
up
Kegels,
and
no?
like not come back down.
Kegels, I think, is
I don't
just
know,
a
that
good
shit scares
byproduct.
But to hold it, you got to
Yeah,
do a
you
Kegel
have to.
to hold it in
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason I say that, it's because with my first husband, like before we were married, we used condoms, stupid health department condoms.
Oh.
So there was a lot of times they broke. It wasn't. I mean, we were married. It had been over a year that this had happened, and I don't know like what was going on, why, but like there was a piece like of a condom inside of me for probably over a year.
Oh, wow.
oh, that's
I
terrifying.
mean, I had only
hate
had
that.
sex with him.
Who knows what's in there?
Who knows?
There's nothing there no more. I know that for a fact.
How did you go to the doctor and then they found it up in there?
No, I don't
Se
know.
te salió.
She sneezed.
Yeah, I sneezed.
Made a whoopee cushion sound.
Like, I'm always very like about cleaning down
Yeah.
there, and there was one time like I was just like,
The heck is that?
Oh.
like I was like, you're kidding me. I had to call him like, look at this. And I mean, I used,
How long do you think it was in there?
oh, it had been over a year.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
it had been over
terrifying.
a year.
Like,
Yeah.
how did you not have like a health issue from it?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I know that's how long it had been in there because I got put on birth control, and for how long I was on it, and we stopped using condoms, and so
Oh.
yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
That is.
And I just remember like the one time like there
New
was like
fear
5
unlocked.
Yeah.
condoms. Well, I
Here
mean,
we all
I've
looking.
heard also like the emergency visit, like TikToks, like where they'll put something up their anus.
Oh,
and,
yep.
like it goes so
Oh,
far up,
yeah.
like, and then it doesn't come back down.
That happens like way more than people think it does. Like,
Mhm.
people are stupid.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, why would you put a rock in there? Like, what if it doesn't come back down?
But it's supposed to give you superpowers and shit.
Yeah.
And align your chakras and all that. Bullshit.
Según.
I'm okay with my chakras.
Yeah.
I like my chakras the
good.
way they are.
And that's what I was saying. And I said on that show, I was like, if I stick a piece of quartz up my ass, you think I'll be on time to work?
You should should try it.
Yeah, try and let
For
me know.
science.
I did try
Let
it, and
me
I was
know.
still late.
Oh, well, maybe you need more.
Not only was I late, I had to go to the bathroom to take care of that. But anywho, back to what we were talking about. I did want to show these guys a clip of you because that was something I told her you were coming. I was like, I'll send you some of their clips, but there's no good clips of you. They clip very much to the right. You know?
Yeah.
But I made my own clip of you that I thought was really cool.
Oh, no.
Why did he never become a citizen?
He didn't speak English. My mom doesn't speak English. My dad doesn't speak English. So I was the 8-year-old boy going to doctor's offices and attorney's offices. So it sucks that you say that I'm out of touch or whatever because you're upset that I have a different political view.
Like, I did that too, but I don't think we're the same level of Mexican.
I don't know if I'm an American.
And that's exactly it. I would never say I'm just an American. I'm a Mexican American.
I love that.
Because no one would fucking. That was one of my favorite episodes because you don't hold back on that, dude. I feel like this is a dude that people hold back on. That people don't.
Yeah.
People, even though they're disagreeing with him, he does have a way about himself where he kind of commands that attention where people are not going to say something against, like opposing what he said. So it's great when you do.
Yeah.
Because it usually makes a lot more sense.
I love that. Yeah. Like, we are Mexican. You know? We are. And you're absolutely correct.
Yeah. So I think, like, back to the no sabo thing, like, I think it's very clear who the no sabo is.
And on the show. Because even John's very, very Mexicanized, I think.
I'm going to say, so I had a transaction with him. The reason I picked him as my realtor was because he was the only realtor in the area that spoke Spanish at the time. And I asked if he could be there to translate for everything. And no shade, but I was the one translating everything at closing. So,
dude, I know. I mean, I think there's some episodes too where I'm like, what the crap did he say? You know what I mean? Or like, I'll be like, huh? You know, or like he doesn't know certain things and I'm like, I don't get it, dude. Like, y él es uno de esos que sus papás nunca hablaron inglés. You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So many people whose parents don't speak English and then they don't speak Spanish well.
Yeah. But he was just completely like he was born here, he was raised here, like, you know, so he's an American.
I hate that. And I just remember growing up, so many people telling me, like, so much raza telling me, like, oh, pues tú ya naciste aquí, so you're not Mexican anymore. Because you were born here. I'm like, well, tell that to all the fucking white people. Because they see another brown kid in the fucking
I
streets,
hate that.
You know?
I hate that. It's in the Selena movie, you know. We're not from there, but we're not from here either. Like, it sucks. We're not Mexican enough for our Mexican people, but we're also not white enough for the white people here, you know? Like, it sucks. We're so in between. Like, I was born in Mexico. I'm Mexican. Yeah. And I tell my kids, you're Mexican too. Like, your mom and dad both were born in Mexico. You're still Mexican. Yeah. You're Mexican American. And I tell them that all the time because they're like, we were born here. You're still Mexican American. Yeah.
We're actually in the process of getting our dual citizenship too.
Okay.
Because, I mean, for a long time, even before all this was happening, like, we had already been like looking into it and wanting to do that because when we travel, I want to be able to use the Mexican passport because te tratan mejor cuando viajas con el Mexican passport. Yeah,
I have my Mexican passport. I haven't used it, but I have it.
You should use it, girl.
I will be this year. I have plans for the summer.
So hopefully, I think que van a abrir the appointments for el registro civil on the 14th of March. So that's when we'll make our appointments para ir a Boise. And so like me, my brother, and my sister will get them. And then once we have them, then even though like obviously we weren't born in Mexico, but our kids can get them too. Yeah. So that's kind of the plan.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because what if we all just get deported?
That's what I'm saying, you know? That's what I'm saying. You never know.
Yeah, we're going to lose our birthright citizenship.
We got to be prepared.
And you guys have touched on birthright citizenship. The other dudes on the show straight up were like, oh, I think it'd be a good idea to get rid of him. I was like, fool, your parents are not.
No.
You're like, how can you say that as a like? And what I don't get about getting rid of if we get rid of birthright citizenship, where are these babies?
They're not even
citizens of?
babies no more. My daughter's 13. She would
Yeah.
be
Yeah, but so where
Yeah.
but where would their citizenship be then? Because they're not Mexican.
Yeah, they're not Mexican.
They're not
either.
Canadian. They're not from wherever they were.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. So like, what are they going to put on their birth certificates? Are they just not?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of countries even just straight up said, like, we won't take them even if, like,
Yeah.
that is the case. So,
So there's just going to be a whole
We're gonna have a
whole
floating
generation,
island.
whole generation of
Be
people that are
legals.
not from anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, that's
It's
fucking
crazy.
I feel bad now that I haven't watched the show. There's been some topics that have like clips on TikTok that I've watched, and I started following you guys. But it doesn't come through my feed very often.
Yeah.
I think there was a subject you guys were talking about, immigration, which I was like, dude, that's such a great topic that we don't talk about. But I didn't know what it was about or anything,
It's a battle for me. Right? Like,
It really is, and it's like you make all these great points, but then they're like, "But the economy," and I'm
yeah.
like, "Fuck, way like."
Y otra vez con lo mismo. I know.
It's like I get that you guys make better money than I do, but I guarantee you're not the tax bracket that you think you are
No.
when the
No.
economy is going to get affected.
What's funny, because I think it was, I don't know if it was from that clip before we hit record, which I wish John would have been recording. But like I went off on Elias. I was like, you think he gives a fuck about the 100, 200,000 you might make this year? You're not in his tax bracket, bro. I'm like, he doesn't give a shit about you. And then both John was like, John, de todas maneras, he's on that side, pero es más...
But he's willing to look into your side. Yeah.
He tries to stay neutral.
I think it's because he's young. Now, and that is just on the other side of the whole of this. Like the production wise, this podcast looks great because John. It's not his first rodeo. John is he's an incredible producer. He's every show he's produced always looks high quality. He's really good.
Yeah.
He's really good like that.
Yeah.
So and it's good to see him in a role where he gets to express himself.
Yeah.
And not be the butt of every joke.
Yes.
Because when he was on Top's Daily Grind, he was just the butt of every joke, and it's like.
I don't think I ever watched one.
It was funny to a point, but there was a point where you're like, is this guy really that much of an idiot? Or like...
Plus, how old was he back?
It was just a couple of years ago. I don't know. Well, I mean,
He's
I guess
a father
it
now.
makes a world of
He
difference.
is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
He's
just
a cool
doesn't...
guy.
He just
I like
seemed
him.
like a very goofy character. Like Goofy, the fucking Disney character on that show. Like, everything he did was just... It was funny, but I'm like... I don't know. I'm just glad to see him like evolve, and obviously he has a love for the craft, for the art of podcasting. So, so it's cool that he's helping with that, and because he just because he works exclusively with Elias or what?
I wouldn't say exclusively. He works for a
But they have like a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good for him.
Yeah. So he was working at, was it Top Knives or something like that?
Yeah.
And then he actually started doing videos with Noel. Because Noel was he had moved to Twin Falls with his wife because she had gotten offered a job over there. But then she got another offer to come back to Idaho Falls. And when he came back, that's when he started to do videos with John. And so then John started kind of coming around to see if anybody else wanted to do videos with him, like the house videos and stuff. And then he got introduced to Elias, and Elias was like, I think you would do really great if you focused full time on this.
That's pretty genius to do reels about houses that you're selling. I, for one, hate them, and I wish they weren't on my feed, but it is a genius idea.
Yeah.
Like, there was a market that he tapped.
What do you
for
mean?
Sure.
I'm on scrolling on TikTok, and there's this house in Texas with I'm like, dude, this is my dream home, and I'm like, yeah, we're not moving to Texas.
Do you follow the
that's
guy
what I
that's
do.
like?
Yeah.
There's a guy that's so funny in Texas, and he's like, "Esta casa mamalona, this."
I think I've seen it.
And this for the comadres, and you can have 2 comadres, 3 comadres here. Yeah, have you seen that?
Yeah, I think so. I think I
freaking
will.
it's
watch
pretty
me.
cool, like to see a human side. I think
Yeah.
that helps you guys also, just being on
Yeah.
the podcast where you swear and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's not the same world it was even 10 years ago when people were not swearing. Everything
Yeah.
had to be super professional.
Yeah.
And you could show a funny side of you and still be in business,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
But it's been good though. It's been good for John. Like he was able to go full time and just do that. But he also worked. I think he has a contract with another company that he's doing videos for too.
Yeah.
So it's opened up
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah,
to
he's done
like more.
a couple videos for us too at the
Yeah.
restaurant, and we love his work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's pretty
he's
cool.
awesome.
He is really good at what he does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, they call you a liberal on that show a lot. Do you like being called a liberal? Do you identify as a liberal?
Sí, ¿por qué no?
Do they call you a Democrat? You
Yeah.
call yourself a Democrat?
Yeah, I would say
I've been
so.
called a Democrat a lot lately, and I'm like, I'm not. I fucking hate both sides.
I've been getting that a lot.
Because
I
what's
mean,
right is right. Well, I
Yeah,
see it on
everyone
the
like just assumes because
Yeah.
they're just
Yeah.
like, well, if you don't like this, then you must be this, and it's like,
No.
no.
yeah.
Yeah.
The post that we've done and like where we've tagged each other and gotten into arguments with people is like, well, we talk bad about Trump. They're like, and immediately it's like, well, Kamala would have. I wouldn't have voted for Kamala either.
I
Well,
don't
like,
fucking like her, but like,
but like one's evil and one's
Yeah,
worse.
like
So
who's the worst evil? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I'm more liberal than I am Democrat. But as far as how I voted, I definitely voted
yeah.
Democrat.
See, that's another reason why I can't. Even if I wanted to, I can't identify as the Democrat because I can't vote. So
yeah, it doesn't really make that much of a difference for
How can I
you.
be a Democrat? I can't vote for you. I'm not going to be on your team.
Wait, you can't vote?
No, I'm a
So
felon.
somebody said something about that, and they said that if you can't vote because you're a felon, that there's like certain steps you have to do to meet, and you can go back to voting again.
I got that taken away too.
Oh,
Oh.
shit! What? How did you get that taken away?
Well, we got an extra felon in the house.
No, because that's the thing. Like, my sentence was like, the 14 days in county and, what was it, like? I want to say 4 years of felony probation. And if I met all of that, then I could apply for, I can't remember what they call it, but it's pretty much, you don't get your record clean, but you're able to get your civil rights back. Mm-hmm. But I fucking, in between, I caught reckless driving. And so it was like, okay, you're still not going to do any prison time, but now you can't get your civil rights back, which is fine because I've never voted before. And like, I don't want to be on a jury, and I don't
You're just
want
like every other
Oh
Mexican
shit!
in
Yeah,
town.
you don't have to do jury
Yeah,
either.
it's jury
That's kinda
duty. You
nice
can't
at
vote,
least.
and you can't own a gun. 3 things which I've
I
never
guess it's
done, never
mostly
wanted
cons,
to do.
but
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe when your daughters are older, and because I think I'm gonna be able to vote for the first time when my daughter turns 18.
Really?
I just became a resident a year ago,
Okay.
a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So it takes 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 years to become a citizen, and so by that time she'll be 18.
So at the same time, you guys got
We'll be
vote.
voting for
Yeah.
the first time. Crazy. It took me that long, but
But
we're here.
you're not married right now, right? No.
Nope.
Because now ya ves que están diciendo que ahora
Like
que
divorced,
según-
single, lonely, and everything.
I don't know, man. I say this as like someone who is very happily married. Like being single, I think isn't overrated. Like
I love
there's
it. I
so
love
much
it.
good
Same.
for being
I
single.
love
like,
it.
yeah.
I get so much done being single.
Yeah.
Like nobody tell me what I can and can't do. I don't have
Yeah.
any boundaries. Like I can take off whenever I want. The
Yeah.
only thing I have to worry about is my kids.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
I mean, I've told my hubby this. I'm like, if anything ever happened between us, I'm like, I'm staying my ass single. I'm like, I don't want to deal with nobody else's bullshit. I'm like, I don't even want to deal with your bullshit most of the time. I'm like, why would I start over with somebody? I'm like, ay, que hueva. No.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. I think the only thing that I miss as being single, that the only thing that it's hard to deal with is the physical touch. Because I'm a very physical touch person.
because you don't jerk off too, like it.
Yeah. That too.
Get over it. If you like masturbating, this wouldn't be such an issue for you.
Like I don't like to pleasure myself, so
I mean, let's just be clear on that, you know.
Yeah, and I'm also like not one to just go sleep around with everybody,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I have standards, and
Standards are good.
yeah,
And you don't want no STDs.
yeah, exactly.
Porque ya around here, uno nunca sabe.
I don't trust people. No fucking way. Like,
Nope.
No.
Even when you trust them, they do.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Like, I've been with my husband for like over 10 years now, and like, I'd say there's pretty good trust there. But if like anything ever happened, like I had to start trying to date again, I'd
dude, in the dating world right now is
fucking
trash.
forget it.
Trash.
Forget it.
Trash.
All my single friends come and complain to me about all of the like dates they go on, and I'm like, fuck that. Stay single, man.
I know.
Like,
I got friends that are married or dealing with shit, and they're like, you know what? I'll stay married. I'll stay right where I'm at. I'm like, great idea.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, if I wasn't single right now, I'd be getting text messages like, "What time are you going to be done? What time?" I was like, I'd just rather do my thing, you know.
see, that's like the nice thing about my husband is he just sits at home. He does his thing. He doesn't like leaving. He doesn't want to go talk to people. He just wants to stay home
I
and
wanna
play
get him on the
video
show.
games. I'll try and get him on at some point because he's funny. He does not like going out or talking to people or doing anything.
But
and
when
I'm
he
very
does-
much more like, I'm going to go out and do shit. And he doesn't bother me about it at all. Like,
That's awesome.
The only time your husband called you was because your car alarm was going off or some shit, and
Yeah,
you couldn't turn it off.
the hearse horn just started like blaring and wasn't turning off, and I had to try and tell him where the battery was to try and unhook it because he was
my
so
God.
panicked.
I could just hear him like freaking
He
out on the
was so
phone. I was like,
upset.
and I was like, "What the hell? What's going on?" She's like, "Oh, my fucking car alarm." I was like, "Oh."
It wasn't even like the alarm. The horn was just like the whole
Really?
time, and he's
Oh,
like, "I
God.
got home
What
and
was
it's
it?
just
Jared
doing
figured
this."
out.
No clue.
Who's the ghost?
He
I was
just
gonna say it was
unhooked
a
the
dead-
battery.
you think
I
it was a
left
ghost?
unhooked for a while, and then
Do you think there's ghosts in your hearse?
I don't think so. I don't know. That's like the only really weird thing
They didn't
that's
attach
happened.
to it. They didn't attach
See,
to the car.
My logic has always been like, why would any kind of like ghost or spirit haunt a hearse? Because like they
I
didn't
feel like
die
you
in
would
it.
though.
They don't have
I
any
feel like someone like
attachment
you
to-
would.
I think I'd still have better places to be. I'd rather haunt like my own personal car or my house or like a person or like something. I don't know. My plan is if I am ever like a ghost in the afterworld, in fact, this is what I'd prefer. Don't send me to heaven or hell. Leave me here. And my job, I want to be
like,
a ghost
oh,
that
be
goes
here
to
no
cool
more.
old Victorian manners and the fucked up like white millennial people that have the money and they're like, I just bought this house, I'm gonna renovate it, and then they just paint everything white and like strip it of character.
me.
I'm gonna I will haunt your house. Like, so just
I
buy a new house.
I
Don't
like
buy a cute
modern.
old house
No.
to renovate it. Like,
Modern's so
That's-
sterile though.
I like,
Like-
modern.
see,
Yeah,
but then
I
you could
have-
just buy a new house for how much it would cost to get like an old house and completely renovate it.
Kinda, yeah. I had a really old house. My house, I was the third owner, built in 1910. It was one of the oldest houses in
was
Blackfoot.
haunted for
That's old
Sure.
as hell. Yeah.
Oh no!
That's older than my
No,
house.
no.
My house is 1920. I
Really?
thought- and that-
Yeah, mine
that
was
old.
1910. The museum in Blackfoot was built in 1908. So my house is one of the oldest. Yeah. The basement was super creepy because it was so dark. It was never
Was
done.
it one of those like cool stone basements?
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
those.
It was spider webs everywhere.
See,
like
my
wood,
dreams.
like-
I love it.
It was
Let me move
creepy,
in.
dark and crazy. Like my kids
then, like,
hated
short
it.
Rent it out to
downstairs,
me.
right?
You know what? It wasn't for like the age that it was. Everybody told me that it was actually a really cool basement because I could go like this and there was still maybe like an inch or
Okay.
two.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
some of those are real short. They're like
Yeah.
almost crawl spaces.
Yeah, no. The stairs, yeah, you had to like to get down there, but yeah, it never got done. That was always a dream of mine. I hate that I sold it, but like upstairs, like put a new flooring, you know, like just like this vinyl, painted it gray like this. Yeah, just made it pretty.
Yeah.
It did have a really cool door, like what are those called? The
pocket
barn-
doors?
No, a barn door.
Oh, okay.
It was really cool. That was like the coolest thing about that house.
Yeah.
But
How old's the house you live in now?
1976.
Oh, so not
Yeah,
old.
no, and it was updated before I got there. So
It's a nice one. I like it because it's wide open. I feel like
Yeah.
newer houses are not wide open spaces
Yeah.
anymore. It's all, everything's at
See,
an
my
angle.
house is like
Hate
pretty new. It's way newer than what I wanted, and it's like fairly open concept. Like you can see the kitchen from the living room type thing, and then there's like immediately a hallway. It's one of those like cookie cutter houses. And like I hate it. It sucks so
Really?
bad.
That's what I
Because I
wanted
want to
mine
do
to
like different
You guys
rooms
should
with
trade
different
houses.
themes and
Yeah.
stuff.
No,
and you
yeah.
can't do that when it's open concept.
Yeah.
And there's like these giant walls, and I'm like, what the fuck are you supposed to do with these walls? Like you, even if you get like a big piece of artwork, it looks so stupid on there. Like I don't know. I have beef with it.
Yeah. No, my house, like, I didn't like that you can't see from the living room to the kitchen. That's a big thing for me. It's crazy. Like, you come in, there's a big living room. There's no lights at all in the living room. I hate that.
Oh, because back in the day, they
You
had
have to
the
be lamp
lamps.
people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how I have it
Yeah.
set up. I put giant curtains over every window, and then it does suck when you don't have an overhead
Yeah.
light, especially
Yeah.
if you're like trying to work on a project at night or something. Because that's how
Well,
all my houses were growing up.
My kids leave me, like, it's their bedtime, and I'm like, they're sitting, and I'm like, okay, who's gonna go turn off the lamp now?
You know what you need to get?
Uh,
You need to get a smart plug-in, and then you
Oh,
connect your lamp to it, and then if you have like an
I
Alexa
have
or
an
anything,
Alexa, yeah.
or even on your phone, you just turn it off. Because
We always
how-
set them up to
Yeah.
timers growing up, so that it would just
Yeah.
like they'd automatically shut off at like 11 p.m. or whatever, which was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I always wanted a clapper.
You would.
Alexa.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck Alexa. Fucking clap and the lights would shut off. That's just dope.
But you
Yeah.
can automate it. Like at our house, we're lamp people too. So like in all the rooms we have a lamp, and in the living room we have a lamp. Even though we do have the overhead light, the only times we use the overhead light is like in the kitchen or like in where the dining table is.
Yeah.
But every other room it's lamps, and then we use Google. So like I get home and then we're like, hey Google, turn on all the lights, and then it'll
Yeah.
turn on just
Say
the
hey
lights.
Google more clearly, because I like when people say it on the podcast. Because I just
Hey, Google.
like I really hope someone else, like someone's listening to it right now, and all the lights turned off right now.
yeah.
You told us to.
And like we have it connected now to our lights outside
Okay.
too, because I bought the Gobi lights on TikTok, you know. Anyways, and so now when we're like, hey, turn them all on, those get turned on too.
That's cool.
Yeah, so you don't have to be like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to go
I
and
need
turn
to
the light.
be a gadget person.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now
Gadget
that
person.
I got my
Go-go
big old
gadget.
kitchen.
Go gadget lamp.
Go gadget.
Go gadget lamp.
What is that? The Inspector
Inspector
Gadget.
Gadget. They have those lamps that are like on a chain, and you can hook it up to the middle of the room and then plug it into the side.
ugly.
It is ugly.
Yeah.
No, I love those.
You
I
would.
want them all over my house.
I like that. I like that.
Maybe we should trade houses.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I like that reading lamp you got recently.
Oh,
That
you
was
know
nice.
what?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I am
That
really,
one?
like, I'm literally screwed with any updates to that. I can't do it at all because I also have ceiling heat.
Oh,
I said
that
correct
does
today.
suck.
I said
I
that.
do hate
I always
that.
say healing
Yeah.
seat.
We had that at my old apartment, and it
Really?
sucks because you can't do anything. And like my husband, he like I'm just like I can't hang shit from the ceiling. This sucks. He's like,
I've never
what if
thought
there's
about
gonna be a
hanging anything?
fire because of the conduit in the
Yeah.
ceiling? And like he cares about it more in a practical way.
I've
but-
never had anything hanging from the ceiling. Like,
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah, it's like it's paranoid.
Yeah.
And
No.
they don't do those anymore.
No.
I think they're like discontinued or something.
it-
Is it because they're dangerous?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
so
that was mostly, I think, like a 70s thing.
It was.
The,
That sounds
the cable
dangerous.
ceiling heat.
yeah.
Well, one night I walked in the house and I was having like a really bad day, and I like walked in and turned to go to my bedroom, and I was like, what's all that heat coming from the kitchen? And I walked in the kitchen, dude, and it just felt like an inferno in there. Yeah, and I was like, what the heck? And I just had to go change and go to another appointment, and I was already late. And I'm like, what am I going to do? So then I go to my appointment, come back. I turned off the heat on there. Come back, it was still like so hot. Like my floor, all of it is tile.
Oh,
Yeah.
So the tile was hot. I could feel like I just go
You
like
could
this.
feel it
Yeah,
coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, there's something wrong. So I go to like the panel, and the box panel, and I turned off, wherever. Nothing turned off. So I had to like call somebody emergency. It was freaking Saturday morning, nobody's working. And so they had to come out, and yeah, it was the thermostat broke, and they had to
Ugh.
just switch it out. I'm like, gosh, dang it.
Gosh. Yeah.
It is madres.
Yeah, and I was scared because the whole night, my boyfriend told me, he's like, hey, if you don't get that fixed right away, like, it could set the what is that called? The fuzzy stuff? Insulation on fire. And I was like, great, if I wake up in the middle of the night and my house is on fire, like...
Yeah, house fires are crazy.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen a house on fire?
Mm-mm.
I have.
Yeah, me too. It's crazy.
Like in person?
Yeah. Our next door neighbor's house burnt down.
Or I guess I didn't see it on fire. I saw it immediately after it wasn't on fire anymore, but it was still super eerie.
Yeah.
Because it was like 6 a.m.
It's crazy. You don't realize how
and...
large these flames can get. And it's just, he was just knocking on our door like at 3 a.m. Like, hey, like, we're like, what the fuck? I was so out of it. And I just, like, our whole kitchen looked orange. And I was like, why does it look orange?
Oh my god.
And, like, I was looking at it and, like, it still was not clicking.
It was
like,
literally your next door neighbor?
Yeah. And
Thank
so
God
he's in our yard. Well, that's why he was knocking. He's like, the flames are getting really big. It's getting really close to your wood pile. So I just wanted you guys, like, to be awake at least. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then, like, then we called the fire department. They're like, yeah, they're on their way. And it was nuts. It was a crazy night.
Yeah, my neighbor, I only had one neighbor in Blackfoot, and she literally lived across the oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Technical difficulties. She literally lived across the canal from me, and I knew she was going through like relationship problems and things that like shouldn't have been happening. Mm-hmm. And she was talking back to her ex, and she calls me at 12, like almost 1, and she's like, hey, and I was like, what's going on? And she's like, I just want to let you know the house is on fire. No! I was like, your house is on fire. Where is he at? Like, do you need me to kill him? And she goes, it's okay. Everything's fine. I just wanted to let you know, like, ambulance and everybody, like, is on their way. So when they get here, I just didn't want it to scare you. And I'm like, well, I'm scared now.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
so the dude lit up her house?
He did, but it was an accident.
Oh, sure.
So
no le creo.
Yeah.
So they were.
If he peed on the ashes, it wasn't an accident. No.
They were getting back together, and he smokes, and there's some sagebrush outside in front of there. It's a double wide. So those like light on fire.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they actually saved the house. How much they saved the house.
Oh really?
Yeah. They went to bed, like, it was like 10 o'clock when he threw his cigarette, and it lit the wall, and it was on their bedroom, and they didn't smell it or anything until the roof was on fire, and it caved in, and they smelled it, and yeah. The sad part, like, their dogs, they had like 6 dogs, and that was bad, trying to get the dogs out. Yeah.
Did they get all 6 out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
good.
There
was one that
I was going to be like, we don't need another sad Maria animal story.
Yeah.
No.
Do you have a lot more sad animal stories?
I feel like nothing can beat the cats.
Animals that chased me and like bit me and stuff.
But you haven't killed, like, you just killed those cats. You haven't killed
no.
Now, speaking of healing seats, though, your seat is currently healing. You just went through a procedure last week.
What did you say?
Healing seat.
Healing heat.
Her seat is healing because she just went and got her stereo ripped out. What was it? Because it wasn't a hysterectomy. What was it?
I didn't get a hysterectomy. I can't say that word. That's the only word.
Hysterectomy.
Hysterectomy.
You didn't. Is what you didn't get.
So I didn't get that. That I got right before that. So
like an ablation is what
so I had an ablation that's separate. Yes. So they burn the inside of your uterus so you never bleed again. Mm-hmm. You don't always get that when you get your stuff removed or tied. Just because you can't have children no more doesn't mean you stop having periods, but the ablation stops you from having periods. Okay. So I got that done. I think that's like the hardest part of my healing that I'm going through. I got my tubes removed.
Okay.
No.
So I didn't get them tied. When you get them tied, that can be reversible.
They took them all the way out?
Yeah.
Did you get to keep them?
No.
Oh, you should.
I didn't ask.
What specimen that shit?
Yeah.
Oh my god. You're like, you guys want to see?
Check this out.
I would totally do that.
That would have been a great, like,
just
show
bring
and
it out
tell.
of a little
Just
thing.
carry
Here you go.
put it on
I
the
told my
necklace.
husband if I
right?
ever have to go into surgery for something and I can't talk for myself, to make sure he tells them that
They
I want to
save
keep
everything.
everything. Like,
Yeah.
What if I like lost a finger? I could like keep my finger bone on a necklace and be like, look at that, it's my pinky. Like, I don't know.
I can't wait till you get an ablation so we can see your tubes.
Yeah, see, I'll keep
That's
that
not,
shit.
no, so the ablation is different.
So what do you
So-
call the tube removal?
The
Just tube removal?
Tube removal, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait till you get your tube removal so we can see the tubes.
She doesn't even have babies yet.
Well,
That's
yeah,
true.
it'll happen after.
Well, maybe one day. We'll
Maybe.
see. Who knows?
No, I'm super happy with the procedure.
She doesn't want to get hemorrhoids. We've
No,
had this
I'm more
conversation.
scared about-
That is like a totally different hole.
Yeah, I know.
No. But you still get hemorrhoids, though.
Are you talking about like when you're pushing?
No,
have the
people
babies?
get hemorrhoids
he's just
from
talking about
being...
pregnancy in
from being
okay,
pregnant.
yeah, from having
But
babies.
I don't know.
yes.
The thing that there's too many things to list that scare me about pregnancy.
That's just the one I scared her
But
with.
I know that one thing that I hadn't originally ever thought about was one of my friends that has a few kids. She was like, "Oh, one of the things that no one ever says is that how your teeth can get really brittle because of the
The
calcium."
calcium.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I
Yeah.
have like teeth nightmares and stuff.
Oh,
So I was
yeah.
like, no,
Yeah.
not the teeth.
Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There are a lot of things
terrifies
that
me.
can happen.
Pregnancy
Yeah.
is scary as fuck.
It is.
I don't fuck with
You
it.
just adopt.
So
I've thought about it.
Get your tubes removed and then adopt a kid. And then bring your tubes and your
I'm
kid to
down
the show.
with adoption.
So anyway,
yeah,
Yeah. Back to you.
So speaking of politics, there's two huge reasons, maybe three, why I had this done. The main reason I had over a year ago, I've talked about how my ex-husband sued me for full custody. I would say that's the main reason. It was the scariest thing in my life that I've ever been through is somebody trying to take away my children. And having also like knowing that I didn't give my kids the best dad that I could have given them, I feel like I fucked up completely in life, not giving them a good father. He's a good dad to them, but he's not the best father they could have had. And I didn't choose well, and I punish myself for that a lot. So knowing that I will never give another man that ability, to take away my kids from me, that just like set me free to know that I will never give somebody that ability. Two, my kids are big, like 13, almost 11, and almost 10. I don't need more kids.
yeah.
I have a business that's very physically demanding. I couldn't have another kid.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not. The political side of it is that's what triggered me to actually get this done. Was because of all the laws changing, recently for women's rights. Things happening in it, and I feel like I don't know, you guys. If you guys have seen TikTok the last 2 days, the woman in Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's super scary because I feel like unless you have gone through it, unless it affects you, people don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They don't care, and they're not open-minded to care about it. 12 years ago, I was in the hospital room. I had to have a DNC, which in other terms, it's an abortion. I was almost 4 months pregnant. I got pregnant on purpose. I was going to have this baby, and at 10 weeks, the baby died inside the womb. Didn't know until I was 18 weeks pregnant, and I had no choice but to get an abortion. In Idaho, I don't know if it's gone through already, but I know they're trying to stop that, where you're not allowed to get a DNC to save your life. Because back then it was allowed, they saved my life.
Yeah.
I was bleeding out completely after I took the medicine to have the abortion. My body stopped the baby from growing inside the womb, but everything else was still growing.
Oh.
So I had no idea that I lost this baby
Yeah.
inside 8 weeks prior. My body was going into shock, and there's a term for it. I can't remember what it's called. So when we found out about it, I had the ultrasound done, and they're like, "We need to get this baby out of you now."
What's it called?
Septic. Yeah,
Septic.
my body was going septic. So they're like, "We need to get this baby now." So they gave me different options. They're like, we can go to the ER right now, do the DNC, or we can give you this pill. The baby was little enough that you would pass it just like a normal, like a clot. I went with that choice because I was healing mentally, it was so hard for me to all of a sudden, like, I'm almost 4 months pregnant, and to know that all of a sudden you're not, that you're not having this baby, this whole plan, like you were planning on I went to the ultrasound to find out what gender I was having, and to know that I wasn't having a baby, I wasn't going to bring a baby home.
That's when they told you. So you went to the ultrasound, and that's when they were like...
Yeah. Well, they didn't tell me at the ultrasound. They refused, but
I knew because they usually tell you, like, oh, your doctor has to come in and tell you.
Yeah. He's just like, I can't find the heartbeat. Are you sure you're this month, many months? And I'm like, we're in February. I got pregnant in November. Like, I haven't had a period since November. I know how far I am. Like, I know my body so well. And I just knew there was something wrong. And just knowing that I've had 2 miscarriages. I've had 3 live births. That's almost half. My body cannot handle pregnancies like normal women. Most women. My mom's had also 4 miscarriages, and she has 5 live births. So it runs in my family. It is more likely for me to have another miscarriage probably than it is to have a live birth. So knowing that information and knowing, like the laws that are put in place to not protect women, I'm against abortion completely. Like, I would never get an abortion. If I'm pregnant, if I made the mistake of sleeping with somebody, and it, like whatever happened, I gotta raise that child. Yeah. That comes with that's my responsibility. But where my body doesn't do what it's supposed to do, and knowing that they're just going to let me die. Yeah. I have 3 children that I have to worry about. I can't risk my life for another baby that's not here. Yeah. I need to take care of the ones that are already here. Yeah. So that was another reason why I decided that I needed to do what I did. And I'm not going back. Like, I didn't get my tubes tied. They were cut out. I'm sorry if I meet somebody and that's their deal breaker, that they want to have a child. I'm sorry. My health comes before, anybody else, and my kids too.
Did your doctor give you any crap prior to, like, try to like convince you not to do it?
So I tried to do this back when I was 27, when I was still married. They were like, no, you're way too young. And I'm like, dude, I have 3 kids. Why do I need more? Why do I need more?
And then when you were married, they were like, well, we need his consent.
That's so fucking bad.
So this is...
And it's a lie, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what happened, actually, they didn't tell me that because I didn't go that far into it. Back then, I've always had issues, like, down there with, like, periods. I get horrible migraines, and I just wanted it to stop. And when I was 27, 6 years ago, I asked if they would do a hysterectomy.
Good job.
I had to think about it. Hysterectomy. And they're like, absolutely not. You're too young. You're going to have all these hormone problems. You don't know if you want more kids. Yes, I do. I don't want more kids. Like, I think with my 3.
By the time you have 3 kids, you fucking know. Yeah. Also, like, 3 kids is already a lot to take care of. Like, busy-wise, financial-wise, emotionally. Like,
but you have to remember where we live.
Yeah.
It's okay to have 10 kids.
Yeah.
No,
3's nothing to most people.
Yeah.
But it should be. I think 3 kids should be like the max. I think if you have more than that, you're not putting enough attention into your kids. I think that 3 is already so many to try and keep track of. Because, like, how are you going to make it to, like, Jimmy's soccer practice and, like, Taylor's ballet lesson and then, like, I don't know, Margaret's art class? Like, unless you have a really good support system, you're either going to have to neglect some of your kids' wants or needs, or you're going to have to just be absent with it. Like, I don't know, you can't
3's already bad enough because you already created a middle child, and that's
you already have
middle child.
The worst.
My daughter is the worst middle child too.
You just want to have 2, so you have the oldest one and the baby. It works out perfect.
Well, so that happened back when I was 27. They told me no. they're like, we'll just keep a watch on it. You know, they put me on different birth controls. We've been kind of keeping it, you know, balanced or whatever, where it's not horrible. Like, I've been limited to periods now ever since that. But now that I went in, my first consultation, everything was great. Like, it seemed so positive. I was so excited. And he's like, oh, we're just going to do it all. Yeah, you're ready.
Did you stick with the same doctor?
I actually had to change doctors because he had an emergency
Okay.
the week before my surgery. But he was all for it. Like, oh, yeah, you're ready. Absolutely. Let's sign some papers, whatever. He leaves, and then the nurse is like, okay, so can you have your husband come? And I was like, husband? I'm divorced. I'm single. Like, I have nobody. And she goes, oh, we got to talk to the doctor then. We're going to have to take you and do this over at the hospital, and that's a little bit more cost. And I was
What
like,
the fuck? That shouldn't make a difference.
I was like, wait a sec. Like, why does that matter? It's like, oh, yeah, because if if you're married, we can just have your husband snip his, what is that?
A vasectomy?
A vasectomy. And I was like,
What?
why does my husband have to have a vasectomy? Why does my partner have to have a vasectomy if I'm getting, rid of all...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, it's because we're doing the ablation, and if you were to get pregnant, like, it is very, it's the most dangerous thing you could go through, and you would die. And they're like, unless we're able to fly you out to maybe Utah or something. And it's the same shit. Like,
Yeah.
with, like, they won't allow certain things here in Idaho, for women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I was like, but we're gonna take care of this. We're not getting pregnant no more. You're cutting my tubes out.
Yeah.
And they're like, but there's still, like, a slight chance you could get pregnant, and we just can't have that, like, if you don't have a husband. And I'm like, if I had a husband right now, I could still get divorced.
You should have been like, I'm a lesbian. How am I gonna get pregnant, bitch?
So he actually...
Wait, you're not a lesbian?
He had to come in.
You're not a lesbian?
I'm not.
I was listening to your Oscar, whatever.
Fortunately. But I got so emotional. I left there crying.
When was this?
It was the beginning of January or end of December.
So, like, apenas.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's been 2 months, like a 2-month process. It would have been the end of December.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was just like, why is it so much different if I would have had a husband to not having a husband?
Yeah.
Like, and I told my doctor, I'm like, I could straight up go cheat on my husband,
Yeah, like...
what does it matter?
Yeah.
And he just like, we still have to do, this is the procedures we have to follow. Like, I literally do lesbians ablations all the time. Like, and we still have to follow those procedures. And I'm like, okay, well, I feel like it's unfair.
It is.
Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So that was I was so confused. And then afterwards, like, I had to go, I had 4-5 different meetings. The very last one was actually, they called me, they're like, hey, I know you're scheduled for next week, but the doctor had an emergency and we can't reschedule you until, like, after April. And I was like, hell no. Hell no. It's in my mind. I'm getting it next week. I am... Like, my cousin already took time off of work a month ago for this. Like, we've already asked for time off. I already have people lined up to work for me at my business. Like, I can't just take time off for my business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it has to be done. Find me another doctor, whatever you have to do, but I'm getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
And so I ended up having my pre-op appointment 2 days before my operation. And it was with a different doctor. Mm-hmm. And I was actually more comfortable with that doctor because he's one of my customers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And the funniest thing is, like, they put the IV in, and there was people in the hallway, so they couldn't take me out right away. And they're, like, talking to me, and everybody on the show already knows I'm a lightweight. And so as soon as, like, they put it in, I'm like, well, this is going to sound crazy, but I feel like I'm getting drunk. Like, my body's starting to tingle. And they start laughing at me, and that was the last thing I remember.
And then she's like,
yeah, and then all of a sudden I hear, like, yeah, that's the girl. Like, she's, I was Maria. And I'm like, hello? Like, hello? And I get up and the nurses are in their station and they're like, oh, you woke up fast. And I was like, yeah, when are we having the operation? They're like, girl, you're done. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, that was good. And all of a sudden the pain just kicked in. Like, I felt like I was having a baby. Like the
like
contractions. Like cramping to the max. I always hear like the word fentanyl.
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 Yeah.
So that's like a bad drug, right? The one everybody.
But I mean,
like,
they've been
always
always using it in the medical field. No más que
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
you know, certain dosage.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they ended up having to do that, like put that in my IV because it was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "What pain level are you at?" And I was like,
Bitch,
I'm
I'm a 20.
I'm like, I'm a 9 right now. And they're like, okay, so they did something in my IV, and it was still like 8.5 after 15 minutes, and they're like, okay, we're gonna do fentanyl, and I was like, oh, that shit's bad. And they did that, and it was still really bad. But they took me to the recuperation room, and I'm there, and I'm like, it's like a 6, 7. Like, I'm still like, it's bad. So they gave me a pill. I don't know what the pill was. And within 20 minutes, I was like, knocked out. And they'd wake me up, and I'd be awake for 30 seconds, and I'm like, I'm tired. And I just slept. Like, Thursday, I slept all day. I didn't know nothing about me. Like, yeah.
We had that podcast where it begins with a schedule that day, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'll make it. I'll be fine." And I knew you weren't gonna be. I was just waiting for that call. And Angelica calls me. She calls me. And she's like, "Hey, Maria's pretty fucked up. Like, you want to just reschedule?" I'm like, "Yeah."
I felt like I failed, you guys.
We knew that was gonna happen.
That's a
like,
good reason. Like,
like who's gonna like? I knew that was gonna like who's gonna get their fucking stereo pulled out, and then you're just gonna go to fucking go chill with your friends afterwards.
I was like, dude, I mean, we're sitting here like it's fine, but I never thought I was gonna be
you get drugged up.
Yeah. I didn't think it was gonna be that bad. Because they're like, oh, you should be able to go back to work tomorrow. Just don't lift anything. Yeah. I was back to work the next day. Like, I woke up and I was like, bro, like, I'm just sore, but I'm not in pain. I since I left the hospital, I didn't take no pain medication.
You were probably not in pain
Well, it
because
was
you were
just
still
the
under
day
the
up.
influence a little bit.
Yeah. And then Saturday, I went to work all day long. I didn't have any help from anybody. And we were so busy. So I was running orders back and forth. I was filling cups. I was taking orders, running to the kitchen. Like, it was so much. I should have not done that.
Yeah.
I needed to take it easy. I needed to sit down, and I didn't. And I mean, I could just feel, the blood just gushing. It wasn't good. It wasn't
gross,
pretty.
Maria.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I said, that's gross, Maria.
I couldn't even get out of my car
kidding.
that night.
It's not that gross.
I sat in my car like an hour, and I'm like, how am I going to get out? Like, nobody's here. My kids aren't home. Finally, I got out of my car, like, almost crawling. And then I get to bed, and I told my brother, I'm like, I'm going in to make the drinks, and I'm leaving. Like, I can't be there. And I left a couple hours into getting to the store on Sunday, and I went to bed. I took a 4-hour nap.
Yeah.
And then Monday, I stayed in bed till noon, and I was like, dude, this is what I needed. I just needed a rest. I woke up yesterday, and I was not in pain anymore. Today, I'm like, dude, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like, I know, obviously, like, if I'm, like, leaning down or something, like, I can feel something, but it's not. I feel like I need to take it easy.
Yeah.
But it's not like, I'm like, dude, if I ran to the store, I'd be fine right now. Yeah.
You're ready to rock.
And then I got a tattoo. Like,
Oh my gosh.
full thigh
So she's
tattoo.
healing all over.
Yeah, and it was, when I got done, I was like, dude, I like
Wait, when
this.
did you get this? Today?
Hace rato.
Oh my god.
Less than an hour ago. It's still warm. Like, feel it.
Maria's just a trooper.
Oh my god.
She was on live getting that tattoo, and I got on it, and right away she's like, "I'm almost done." I'm like, she's saying that because she knows I'm like, she knows we're podcasting later, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Does Oscar fit on the couch? Do you guys think?
Yeah. Here, come over.
You just share a mic with Maria.
Yeah.
I'm just loud enough that it's fine.
I haven't seen the podcast hasn't seen Oscar in like over a year. You can take it out of the there you go.
Oh, that's crazy. I've been, I actually was thinking about doing something like that too.
How many kids do you have?
2.
Yeah,
but
that's
like, I mean, like Michael already has a vasectomy, so it's not like I'm worried
gonna get
about
pregnant,
that.
yeah.
But I'm more so like, I'm not trying to be a handmaid. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been thinking about.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been thinking about doing that, or because I mean I have an IUD, but I'm like, me lo cambio to get a fresh new one for the next.
So, see, I
You
think
know?
that's what they wanted to do an IUD after the whole thing. And I was like, no, fuck that. Like, I am, no, we're
Why?
not doing
What's
an
the
IUD.
point?
Yeah.
That's just like a second protection, so I won't get pregnant because so the ablation.
Because she still has her ovary.
And I was like, well, how likely is it that I'll get pregnant? Like, I have no tubes. So what do you mean I can get pregnant? And they're like, well, it's been recorded twice in a lifetime, that somebody
You're
has
good with
gotten
those
pregnant.
odds if it happens.
Yeah.
It's just, they're like, we can't say that it's 100% now because of those 2 pregnancies.
Yeah.
So basically the way they explain, I have my ovaries and they're just there. And
They're
the ovaries,
floating.
they floated and it landed into the,
Pocket.
the
I don't know why I said pocket.
not ovaries into the uterus,
Uh-huh.
and it attached to the uterus and was still able to get pregnant.
Oh.
So
That's so magical.
it is like
Women's bodies are magical.
yeah. So
I showed up at a great time.
Yeah. Well, you like women's bodies.
Yeah.
You guys just don't know what it's like.
yeah, dude.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't. And I'll never pretend to. and
I think it's
like, who
good
cares?
for guys to hear this shit.
I like this stuff is fascinating to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never been one to be like, oh, it's it's easy or anything.
Yeah.
Well, you're getting your
I'm gonna get
vasectomy too.
my balls tied.
your balls tied.
When?
Next, on
That's
the
what people should
18th,
call
March
it.
18th.
Oh, so it's scheduled. It's on the
Yeah.
books.
Yeah, it was
I'm gonna
before,
be
but I
his
couldn't get a
his
ride. So now, so I rescheduled it. Maria's gonna take me,
Yeah.
and we're gonna live stream the whole thing.
And now I'm gonna hold his
Who's doing it? Who's doing
his
it?
balls. No,
Doctor, I don't know.
You don't know the name of your doctor?
He's not like my doctor. It's the guy that
he's
does.
getting a free vasectomy.
It's the guy that does free
a free one?
vasectomies
It's
in
a free
Pocatello.
vasectomy.
Right? Like, what the
Oh,
fuck? They get
shit.
it for free.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. You know how much mine is gonna be? It's gonna be over $10,000.
What the fuck,
Yeah,
man?
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's after insurance.
See, that's the only
That's so
reason.
fucked
That's the
up.
only reason I'm doing it is because it's free. And everybody's like, "Oh, like, good luck." It's like, think about it. He does them for free. He does like a couple a week, so he's really good. He can do it with his eyes closed. In fact, I dared him to do it with his eyes closed.
Well, like when we
he
went
gonna do
with like Michael to get
he's
his
like,
done,
"All right, bet."
we went here. It was
20?
Dr.
He's a
Blatter.
20-year-old
That's
doctor.
his name.
Uh-huh.
And
He's like, "On God."
he had him. Well, I don't know how your doctor will be, but our doctor, he had him laid like flat.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess some doctors will put you on stirrups, like the dudes. But he had him flat, and then he just kind of like covered everything.
That makes
You know,
sense. The
just
stirrups, though, because
yeah.
you got to keep
But
your
he
shit
just
open.
exposed like the balls, and then he put like Metallica on the background or whatever, and he's just like,
His own?
yeah,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
I was sitting right here, and he's like flat right there, and I was just like, and then some
Oh, I
parts
wouldn't
I
want
was
to
like,
watch.
You wouldn't want to watch that?
No, I don't like
watch
that shit. I don't know. I'm like weird, I guess, because
You
like
gotta free
some
look.
things I'll be like morbidly fascinated by. Like,
You wouldn't want to watch it. Or did you watch it? Did you see the incisions? and shit?
yeah. So
Like, I
I
saw-
don't think I'd want to watch
saw
that.
when he
though.
pulled
Like
out
I
the
saw the
vein,
C-section. That shit was wild.
see,
and then,
I
Yeah.
don't
and then
like
he
that.
clips it, and then he like cuts it, and then he like burns it or whatever.
And you're awake the whole time. And the reason you
I
need a
can just
driver.
picture it. Like, I
Yeah.
think that's awesome.
Yeah.
The first time I saw a birth, like in 11th
Oh,
grade, I was
yeah.
like, that is so cool.
Yeah, that's
No,
what
see,
like
birth grosses me out.
Really, I thought it was
Would a
so cool.
C-section gross you out? Because I saw my daughter's
I don't
C-section.
know.
Like
All of
Yeah.
the
I think
flap,
the
it was
C-section
cool.
actually
They're
would
just
gross me out
Cutting
less.
you.
It was kind of
But-
cool. I just saw the flap of skin, and then the baby came out, and then they flapped it back over, and they're like footballed
See,
her up.
I don't like that either. I just also
Dang.
maybe this is because
They
I'm
cut
not
it
a
with their
mom, but also like I don't know. Babies are not cute at first. They're just
They're
ugly.
not.
They're like
Purple
little
and
sacks
shit.
of potato flesh.
Mhm.
When
Like,
they're first born and it's yours, you're like, oh my god, it's the cutest thing ever.
see, I
when my son
understand
was born, I
having
was
like
like,
a
oh,
love
he's not
for it
good
because
looking.
it's like
No.
your baby that you've been looking forward to seeing.
Well-
But I don't think I'd even admit that it's like cute or anything. Like, I could love it, but I'd be like, you're ugly as shit.
I've seen so many babies that there's some that are okay, but most of them are ugly.
Yeah.
They look like aliens.
Yeah.
And my
Yeah.
daughter, she's like, Mom, they're so ugly. And I'm like, stop.
Mine was
Yeah,
all
they
beat
don't
up
get
because
cute until like a few months. Like,
Yes.
mine was all beat up because she'd spent from 6 a.m. to like 9 p.m. trying to go out the other way, and then they
Oh.
finally pulled her out like to the point where I was like seeing her hair come out the other way, and then they ended up doing the C-section. So it's like she's had a rough
She
day.
had a comb head.
Yeah, she had the thing.
Yeah,
She was all
my
bruised
son,
up and
my
shit.
son was
Yep.
bad. He had like flat nose, like this bad.
Yeah.
That's why when he came out, I was like, oh, he's not cute.
You thought he was a little monkey?
I said that, and my ex-husband, like, for years, was like, I can't believe you said my son was ugly. I'm like, I didn't say he was ugly. I said he wasn't cute. And
There is a
my
difference.
girls always make fun of him. My mom thought you were ugly when you were born. Well,
It's funny because we look back at our youngest, his pictures, and both of us will be like, "Damn, bro, you was ugly." But at the time, we were like, "Oh my god, he's so
He was
cute."
beautiful,
And it's
baby.
like,
there's like such a relief of becoming a mom. I don't know. I remember like when my daughter was born, and the second she came out, and then like I seen her, and I was just like tears. Like I was just like, oh my god, like just such a
Yeah.
like, it's magical.
Euphoric.
yeah.
Huh?
Euphoric.
Which is kind of
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you're kind of like, I made that.
yeah. I
Kinda
thought you
thing.
said you farted.
Euphoric.
I was like, no.
I mean,
Well, if she did, she didn't know.
Sure.
She was so beautiful, you farted. You just what was?
No, euphoric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I
That's
mean,
a good
if
word.
If you farted fits.
It
could be both.
That's why I had to ask like 3 times. I was like, what? Euphoric. That is
Yeah.
such a good word. Yeah.
Do you want to watch? Do you want to watch my vasectomy? I'm okay with you watching it.
I don't know.
Like you being in there.
You can watch it. I think they'll let you in there.
I don't know if I want to
you wanna
like
see
get
the-
that close
chat.
to you.
Want to see the? Well, you can, I said watch it. not-
What should the doctor play next?
Are they gonna like
I
pull
said
the
wa-
peen back?
No, I said
Well, I don't know what.
I said what? I said watch it, not help out. Like you know?
I don't think they let you help out.
Nope.
You never
No.
done this before.
This isn't like when you cut the umbilical cord. Do you want to do the honors? You just,
When you
No,
see
I'm
this
trying
line,
to
just-
remember
just
if they
follow the
asked
line.
me if I wanted to cut, and I said no.
shut the fuck up for the
I wanted
vasectomy.
to take a seat.
No
Pero le dije
way.
que no.
You-
Yeah.
What?
He was joking. There's
I would
no
have
way.
been like, let me fuck that shit up.
no, you can't say that and not be joking. Like,
Cut his whole nuts off. Like, fuck.
But like literally, we were in and out. Probably like 15-20 minutes.
No
Yeah, it's not long.
way.
That's
It's
nice.
fast.
I was like
Faster than
out
in and
out
out.
for an hour,
Yeah.
and then
Oh, and I remembered what I think it was with you, and like I couldn't remember what drug it was they gave me,
oh yeah,
and everybody kept guessing. It's diazepam, and so he said take one.
it's totally different what you told me.
It's take one, and like what? By the time you get here, if you still feel like you need the other, take the other. I just want to take both. Like you're driving anyway. I just want to get fucked up.
They gave Michael Valium.
That's what you had told
Yeah,
me.
that's-
No,
Valium.
I never said Valium because
You
it's not a
did.
sleeping pill.
No.
You assumed Valium.
No,
and I
Valium
said-
isn't a sleeping pill.
It's not.
It relaxes.
Yeah,
the
you
body.
told me.
Yeah.
Well, then I
Valium.
definitely didn't say Valium. If I assumed it was a sleeping pill, I obviously don't know what it is.
Oh, I swear you
wouldn't have said
told
that.
me Valium.
No, it's always been diazepam.
Well,
I just can't remember the name of it last time.
Yeah.
is diazepam another
Are you gonna
word for Valium?
Are you gonna watch it?
No.
Are you gonna be like?
Well, I wonder if they could set up like a mirror because I want to watch it. I like watching shit like
I
that.
had them put a mirror when I had kids.
You
Yeah.
did?
Yes, I wanted to watch
Maybe they
that.
have they should have a monitor
Yeah.
up like a the
And
dentist.
I was like, you guys, I told you guys I wanted a mirror to watch my baby. Where's the mirror? And they're like, oh, yeah, let me go get that. And all 3 births, I watched my
gosh,
births.
I know
oh,
that.
see, I
Yeah.
don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
I think,
No.
like, with the first
Like-
one,
What did that do for you? I'm just kidding.
so with the first one, I couldn't give birth. It was so hard. I wasn't pushing correctly.
Oh.
No,
And-
ni pa eso sirve.
Yeah, no. And
See,
so-
maybe if I had already been through it, then I'd be like more desensitized to it, and then like especially if you have any like complications, it like is more reassuring to be able to watch
Yeah.
and see what's happening.
Well,
I could see that.
It helped that, like, I was like, fuck this. I'm done. Like, doctor, just cut me. I don't care. Like, I don't want to live no more. Like, it was so rough. I was in labor for 23 hours.
Fuck that.
So I was done completely. And so when like my ex's aunt came in and she's like, look at your baby. Like, you can see the baby. Look at the mirror. And I could see the hair. I could see the head. She's like, you're right there. Stop. Like, you're not giving up. And that's when I was like, she's right.
I got one more push.
Yeah,
Gotta
and
lock
so
it
I
in.
pushed.
Your baby looked at you and made eye contact. He's like, don't give up now.
It was the head. It was like right here.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But
the
that
mirror.
it helped
Or
me
was the head
mentally.
already that far?
Yeah,
The
I
head
could
was
see
already
the
out.
head. Yeah, I could
Oh,
see
okay.
the head, like the hair.
His mouth was out, and he was like,
Push.
bitch.
No, there was no face
Yeah,
yet.
so
It
there
was
was no eye contact.
it was
Yeah.
just
So it was
the
like
head.
X-ray, like
There's no eye contact.
Yeah.
No,
When's the first time you had made eye contact with your child?
when I picked her up.
after she made that final.
What was it? Eye contact? Were her eyes open?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
wild.
I don't remember
No,
mine.
I was so mad because throughout the whole pregnancy, like, my ex-husband was really good with the first one, and he'd always like hug the belly and talk to her and kiss her and everything. So when the baby came out and they told me, they're like, don't be scared. So the thing was wrapped around her
Oh,
neck 3
I-
times.
Oh, hey, that happened to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Umbilical
They all
cord.
thought I was
That's
dead.
why it was so hard for you to deliver. Is because
Yeah, she was stuck up there. So when we finally got the head out, he's like, "Don't push." And then I seen him like unwrap her 3 times, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And that's when I was like, it hit me. I was like, "That's why they were scared." So then she comes out, and instead of, she's like, "Don't get scared. We just have to check her." So they put her on the thing. They didn't give her to me right away, and they start like sucking stuff out. They had machines on her, making sure she's breathing. Thankfully, she was fine. So within like 20 seconds, they like grab her back and they gave her to my freaking husband.
What the fuck?
I was so pissed. So he gives her first kiss, and I was like,
You
I
did
look-
nothing.
I looked at him and I was like, I told you since I was pregnant, I wanted to be the first one to touch my child.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
Did he cut the umbilical and all that shit too?
he did, yeah. With the
With
second
his mouth,
one,
with his teeth? Because that's how I did it.
yeah,
Lying.
he's chewing on it.
No, I'm not.
Cut the corner.
If you almost cut your husband's nuts, then I'm not lying about cutting my baby's fucking umbilical cord. Baby. I spit out the chud.
No. Yeah, no, with the second one, I told the doctor, I was like, the baby's coming with me. I'm the first one to touch the baby.
They respected that. They did
Yeah,
it?
they did. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so pissed the first time though. I think that should be a thing. Like,
Yeah.
the mom should get to hold
Unless
the baby
they like
first.
specially request it somehow
Right.
or something, and I
Yeah.
don't know why people
I felt
even
so
would.
robbed out of that experience. Like, I was so upset. Because he even held her for minutes and I didn't get to hold my baby.
Yeah,
I'm
what the
like,
fuck?
Gosh.
I waited for freaking
Like, especially
9
for like
months.
23 hours? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Now you don't want to have babies.
I
that
don't know.
like another thing?
I'm split. I think I'd be a kick-ass mom. I think I'd be
That's
real
what I'm saying.
good
Just
at it.
adopt it and bring your
But-
tubes to the show.
And like, I don't know, there's something that seems like extra nice about like, you know, having like a biological kid, but at the same time I'm like, man, there's some fucked up genes. Like, I don't know if I want to put my kids through that. I think that me and Jaden would make like the cutest fucking baby ever, but like, man, with some of our like mental shit, I'm like, do I want this kid to have like social anxiety and OCD and like
That
all
you
of
know
the
what's gonna
other,
happen
like,
if you have a
health-prone
kid.
things?
Like when a child of yours grows up, it's gonna be super buttoned down and clean cut. Like,
See, I think that'd be funny though.
But
'cause
that's what's gonna happen.
This is part of why I think I'd be such a kick-ass mom. Like, I had a horrible fucking childhood.
yeah.
And I think that I would do nothing but improve my kid's childhood. And then, like, people are like, well, what if your kid's not like you? What if they want to do all this? I'm like, dude, I think
They're
that'd be
not.
funny.
They're
Like,
always opposite.
it'd be
That's
like
what
the
I'm saying.
Munsters. Like, I would be like the weird
Yeah.
mom that's showing up, picking them up from school in the hearse or the Firebird. But then they would be like, maybe they'd be like this little girly girl that wants to
Yeah,
do ballet.
probably.
Or maybe they'd be like a football kid. And I'd be
The
like,
jock.
all right.
And there'd be
I'll
like
show up. I'll be like the weird goth mom sitting in the stadium with the parasol.
they'd be little
like,
Republicans or some shit.
Okay, I don't know about that. I like to think that I'd raise my kids to like have basic
better.
human fucking
I
decency.
draw the line.
But like,
That's where you're
That's
gonna
where you
draw
draw
the
the
line.
line.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's a hard thing because like I don't know if they're like a teenager. I'm just like, I'd give them the benefit of the doubt and be like, maybe you're just kind of stupid right now. Like, you haven't, like...
I thought you were going to say edgy.
Because we're all kind of stupid until we're like
I mean,
in our
at
30s.
least, like, with the current state of the world, I feel like if you are, like, fairly far right, you just don't care about other people. Like, you're valuing, like, money and your own standards over, like, other people's rights and safety. Like... And even if it's people that you don't think you necessarily know or it doesn't affect you, like, I'm sorry, it's affecting, like, all women right now. So that's affecting, like, hopefully half the people in your life. And that's just on, like, women. That's not counting, like, people of color, anyone in poverty, or, like, you know, like, obviously, like, immigrants, disabilities. Like, there are so many things that's covering. So I'm just like, man, if you're for that, like, you just... don't care about other people.
Yeah.
Or you're stupid.
It's not about Republican or Democrat. It's like evil.
Yeah, that's kind
Like,
of where
why would
I'm
you
at
follow-
with it.
Yeah.
But, so, I mean, I don't know. I'd maybe struggle with that a little bit, but I like to think that I'd have more of an approach of, like, talking to them and understanding how they have come to that viewpoint, and, like, they either, you know, they can try to, like, figure out and educate, like, at least be able to say, like, what points of why they are thinking that way, because a lot of people, you know, whether it's just, like, the podcast that they've been watching and that's where they get all their information and they don't actually know, they're just regurgitating stuff, or if it's, like, that's the household they grew up in and they're just following whatever their parents say. You know, I don't even necessarily want my kids to have all the same, like, beliefs and viewpoints that I do. I just want them to be able to articulate and understand and come to their own conclusions about what they should believe in. So...
And I'm going to say something, too. I think, honestly, it's not even a Republican versus Democrat thing. I think it's a everybody versus Trump thing.
I think that's what it should be.
I don't think that Trump represents the Republicans.
Yeah, I think they deserve a far better candidate.
Yep. Because I in the past, like, I mean, I didn't know, I couldn't vote. I still can't vote. Where there's been different candidates, and I've sided more on the Republican side than I did the Democrat side, you know? So I think it's definitely a everybody against Trump thing.
Yeah. Because he's not really conservative.
No, he's
and
not.
that's what I've always said. I've always made that joke. Like old Mexican people are more conservative than anybody else. But this dude's just not conservative at all. He says he is, but he's not. Yeah. And you want that's one of my favorite arguments on your guys' show was you asking him, like, if Kamala had felonies, like, do you think that would have changed everything? And they wouldn't answer. They would just say, well, no. Well, the thing is, like, if he only has the felonies, he only has the felonies because they were looking at.
You don't understand it.
Yeah, that's like me saying, like, the only reason I have a felony was because I got caught. Like, yeah, like, obviously, so it's like fucking A.
But you could be a president.
I could be. I can't vote, but I can be president. I'm running in for this. Did you guys vote for me?
Rod for president. Yeah.
Did you guys vote for me?
Yes.
I mean,
Would you guys vote for me?
I've hated every candidate since I've been able to legally vote. So, I mean, at this point, like...
I'll vote for fucking anyway.
At least I know you. At least I know what you're capable of.
Like, who knows? Maybe we'd regret it, but...
We could do this show from the Oval
See
Office.
your policies.
Not much for policies. We'll legalize.
You got my vote.
We'll just legalize weed in Mexicans and we're good to go.
I mean, that's already a pretty good start.
And women, legalize women.
Yes, please.
Legalize vaginal health.
We're begging you.
Free vaginal health.
All we need is free vaginal health, some weed, and some Mexicans. Fuck, life would be great.
Dude, there'd be so much more shit getting done. Like,
Agreed.
Oh, shit. Where you been, Oscar? You haven't been on the show for like a year. Was the last show you were on the one where we kept talking about, like, OPP? I think that might have been the last one you were on. That was like over a year ago.
I've seen him twice in a week. Like, I'm starting to
He's
get
back
the feeling
to life.
he missed us.
I didn't die.
He's back from the dead.
I thought he
This
was
is like the
kinda
second
dead.
time you've been back from the dead too. You died back like when you were like 19 or some shit. That was cool.
What?
he went in for surgery, and then I posted on Facebook that he died, and like people were believing it and shit.
Oh, I
was
thought
pretty
this was
good.
gonna be like
Gosh.
my husband's aunt's situation. She went in for like a surgery, and instead of giving her anesthetic, they gave her adrenaline, and they stopped her heart and killed her. And then they were like, "Oh fuck!" and they had to hurry and resuscitate her. And she's alive, but like they killed her. Like I thought it was gonna be like that with you. I was like, "Oh shit! Did you go through that too?"
No, I didn't die for real.
You asshole! What if he would have really died?
I got hit by a car once, and like and I was in the car too, you know.
Oh,
And
I was gonna
blacked
say
out.
me too,
I
but
blacked out. No, not like a head on.
Like, man,
I
there's
don't know
so
if I'd be
many
alive from that.
stories. My brother got ran over too.
I was like famous at one point amongst like the rest of my middle school for getting hit by a car because everyone saw it. It was like in front of Taco Bell on 17th, and everyone saw that this minivan had hit me and like warped my bike, and I was like laying there on the sidewalk.
Did you
I
get-
was, yeah, I was fine. I was like
Yeah.
laughing because I was like, I don't know. I thought it was like maybe funny, or I was kind of in shock, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, oh my god, my bike's fucked up. And I was like, how am I gonna get back home? My mom doesn't know I'm gone. I was trying to return the movie rental so I could get my
Oh my
credits back.
God.
So I had to like, she put my
How old
bike
were
in
you?
her car. I don't know, I was maybe
Like 10.
I was probably like 14, 15-ish or
Okay,
something,
okay.
maybe.
Yeah.
So she had to put my
Yeah.
fucked up bike in her van, and then she dropped me off at home, went to Walmart, bought me a new bike, and then I was like, Mom, waking her up from her nap, and I'm like, I just got hit by a car, but it's okay. This lady's buying me a new bike.
Oh, the lady that hate you bought you a new bike. I
bought me a
thought
new
your mom
bike.
bought you a new bike.
That
I
was
was like,
nice of her.
so nice.
bring
My
him, like, a
mom.
Would
hospital
not have bought
bills.
me a new bike. But for a while, it happened
went
enough
with a
that I had a fucked
stranger
up
that
like
just
bike
hate
collection.
you? I would have been like, she hit me. She's gonna take me and make sure she gets rid of the body.
Yeah, I was just stressed out because I didn't want my mom to know that I left the house, and because I was like
God.
very serious about getting my rental movie
How old did you
credits
say
because
you
I was
were?
poor. I don't know. I was like maybe 14 or 15ish or something. Maybe.
Where did
around
you rent
there.
videos?
Hastings.
Oh,
That was the only place left at that time.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
that was my only option. So I had to ride my bike across town to go return the movies because I
Idle Falls
was
is
very
not bike
serious
friendly,
about
man.
it.
I hate it.
No, it's not.
not.
This is why I had a fucked up bike collection for a while. I had like a couple of like warped bike tires in my room. And everyone's like, what the fuck is that? I was like, that's when I got hit by cars.
How many did you
Dude,
have?
that's freaking funny.
How many did you have? 4? Did you say?
I think like maybe 3.
3 days.
Jeez.
But I don't know. It was like a thing for a while. I was
Just 3.
on one person.
like,
Jeez. Dude, that's crazy. You rode to Walmart with her in the van?
well, I didn't go to Walmart with her. She dropped me off at home so I could be like, Mom, wake up. But
then
then
she
she
br-
went to
she
Walmart
came back and
she
got you
came
a
back
bike?
and my mom was awake and she was outside angry and the lady was like, oh, here's her new bike. And I was like, whoa, I got a new bike. It's fine. I still have a bike. My mom's like, no.
Yeah, you got it.
But
Did you go to the doctor or anything?
no, I was fine. I don't think I even had like bruises. I think I mostly just like flew under the van so it just fucked up my bike, but not me.
Where were your
Oh my
bruises?
God.
I don't think I had any bruises from that one. Like, I got more bruises from doing other shit. Like, I would just go, like, really, really fast, and then I'd, like, drift around corners on my bike, and then, like, sometimes I'd, like, lean in too far, and then I'd just, like, skid across the road.
I thought maybe you
And, like-
fucked up your abdominal muscles, and that's why you're having this reaction now.
No. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's a chain reaction.
Yeah, maybe it is.
It's coming back to haunt you.
I've had a lot of, like, fucked up physical trauma in my
Did
life.
somebody
but,
get her license plate?
like, I don't know, it ended up being fine because I was uninjured and I got a new bike. Part of the reason I think I got so many bike accidents, though, is I'm very short, and, like, at the time, all the bikes I got, my, like, feet couldn't reach the ground very well.
Aw.
So, like, sometimes it was hard to stop, or, like...
Did she get you a bike that was a little bit better for your size? Or?
No, it was
Same
the
shit?
same problem. They were all too big for me, so... But that's what I was used to, so it was fine.
Nice lady, though.
I don't know if that was your
Yeah.
fault that you got hit.
Yeah.
You get
No, it was.
It was
It
because
was
she
her
was
fault
pulling
because
out
she's
of
short.
Taco Bell
She's
onto
short,
the
yeah.
road,
Yeah.
and she didn't look and see that I was coming down the sidewalk. So I do think I'll usually own up if I think it was my fault, but I do think it was her fault that time. Like
Yeah,
she
that's
should have
okay.
looked before trying to pull
Yeah.
into the road.
I did that when I first moved to my new house.
You ran over a kid?
No, but I almost ran over a person jogging at 7 in the morning in the dark.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's a stop sign, so I just stopped, made sure I looked that way, but I didn't look this way.
Oh, yeah.
It's a one-way. It's a one-way.
Oh, yeah, so you wouldn't normally think to look the other way. 'Cause
I look both ways on
people
one
don't
ways because
think
people are
about
stupid as hell.
pedestrians here, so...
Yeah. So now I'm just like, every time I get to that stop, I don't care what time it is. I'm like,
Yeah.
making sure
I'm
there's
that way.
no
Like
pedestrians.
on Lomax, I'm always like making sure because it's a one way.
Yeah. I don't
My
trust
friend-
that shit. I used to drive down one ways the wrong direction
You
all
do
the
that, yeah.
time. 'Cause
I should
know.
have so many people on Lomax
why
always
we
drive the wrong way. And,
why we look.
yeah. They drive the wrong way and then they look at you like you're the dumbass and you're like, fuck.
Read the sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend Armando ran over a wheelchair person once.
What the fuck? Oh no, that's the worst.
And we would always make fun of him for it. And then he would be all traumatized by it. He's like, guys, you just don't know what it feels like. It feels so heavy and gacho. Like you just hear this crunching and
Glad
shit.
he felt bad, though.
He felt
yeah.
terrible about it.
Yeah,
and we
no,
would
that's awful.
And we would to this day still make fun of him. Be like, remember that time we ran over that wheelchair guy?
Oh my god.
And he does remember.
Yeah, because you reminded him. Maybe that's one.
I feel like even without constant
Yeah.
reminders, you won't forget that. Like,
That's a pretty big thing. I think.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
And if he doesn't, it's like,
Well, I think he took him to Walmart and got him a new wheelchair though, so
Oh
should
my
be
God.
fine.
can you go just buy a new wheelchair at Walmart? Oh wait, oh fuck, I'm just being blonde about it.
I'm sure there's some cheap ones.
You just had a
It
Maria moment.
You didn't get it till just then?
Oh, fuck. I just like the realization. Oh, fuck.
You realized it way earlier than I would have.
I was about to say, like, did you go to your mom's house first?
Yeah.
But then you realized it's like...
He dropped the guy off at his mom's house and then he went and got him a wheelchair. No harm, no foul.
That's how it should always go, right?
Plus, you got the bike. But she took you
What
to-
kind of bike was it? Was it a good bike?
It was just like one of those like Walmart beach cruiser bikes.
Oh,
It was dark blue.
At least she did it, though. That's
Yeah.
cool. I mean,
I think she was worried
Shitty that
about
she
my
ran you
mom
over,
pressing
but-
charges, so I think she was trying to buy a
your mom
bike.
did it. I think if I was your mom, I would have taken the bike and pressed charges. Like,
because the bike was definitely cheaper than that.
Oh yeah.
And yeah.
Hey, but if you would have been a Mexican kid, like they would have
would've
been
taken off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there would have been no bike.
I was lucky. Well, okay, I did have another thing going on my side though. There was a witness. My sister was there and she was not hit, so she was standing there like, "What the fuck?"
oh, your sister was with you?
Yeah,
Did she go in the van?
She didn't go tell.
yeah, she went in the
Okay.
van
She
too.
left
Wait,
her
or did
sister
she?
Well, no,
I
she
can't
had to
remember.
ride back because her bike was fine, right?
Yeah, I mean it was a minivan though. Like you could fit two bikes
Oh,
in
okay.
there. I can't remember that part very clearly. I think I was just like, "Oh fuck, oh no,
was
mom's gonna
concussed.
be mad." I didn't
She
get to
was
return my
concussed.
movie. I was very focused on my
Did you?
movie.
Did you
returning.
return the movies or not?
I didn't get to because it was on the
All
way
that for
there.
nothing.
That's
so
the
I
worst
didn't
part of the
make
story.
it.
What movies? Do you remember what movie it was?
I don't remember what movie is.
No.
I rented movies weekly and I
Notebook.
made everyone watch them. Yeah, it was The Notebook, the Magic Mailbox.
The Magic
movie.
Mailbox movie. Do you guys like the Notebook?
Yes,
No.
I mean,
I watched
Have
it
you
with
watched-
my
have
daughter.
you
You
watched
would
it?
like The
No.
Notebook.
Is it about a magic mailbox?
no.
Where's there a
Thought it was
mailbox?
about. I was
thought
like,
they
no,
put-
it's about old people dying.
I thought they put the letter in the mailbox and it like magically appeared in 1942 or
Isn't
some
this
shit.
Oh.
the time traveler's wife? That's the one you're thinking of.
I've never
That
heard
might
of
That's
that.
be-
a different one.
That's what
it's
I'm
similar,
saying.
but no.
But there's no notebook in it though.
No.
Wait, who is the actor, dude?
Ryan
the
Gosling.
Notebook?
In the, yeah, that's
Nicholas Cage.
That's a notebook.
No, that's Nicholas Spark.
It wasn't Nicolas Cage. It was John Travolta. They just looked the same because they
Wait,
traded
what are we
faces.
talking about? The
Movies.
Yeah, it's
It's Nicholas
Ryan Gosling,
Spark.
right?
We always
Ryan Gosling.
we always try to talk about movies.
Yeah.
In
It's
the
Ryan
show.
Gosling.
Do you like the?
what's
Do you
her name,
like? Hey,
McAdams?
this is your first time.
Her, I don't know.
Oh, from Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Do you know that this is your first time on here? Have you ever watched the Human Centipede trilogy?
Oh, of course it had to come up.
No, I don't think I have.
you
Don't
should
watch
watch
Don't.
No.
No.
Did you watch it?
No, but I've heard about
it.
it.
We're gonna.
My old boss told me about
I'm saving
it.
up money to rent like the fucking Paramount, and we're all gonna go watch the,
Just
the
get the
Human.
whole Roddy TV.
Are they,
Yeah,
do they have
and
to,
we're all
do they
gonna
have
go.
to approve what movie you're going to show?
I don't think so. You rent it, you can show whatever you want.
I don't know.
Like as
Don't
long
they
as it's
have
not
to have
illegal.
the movie?
I can probably get it if I get it. You know, They can probably show
Well,
it.
I'm sorry, I won't be making.
No,
it to
you're
the
gonna be. Have you ever seen it?
No.
You've
I'd
never
make
seen
it
it?
for the funsies,
So-
but it's
I haven't
So
fucking
what?
had the
god
pleasure.
awful.
Like, think about what does a centipede look like? How many feet? Like, how? Okay, so a human. They made a centipede out of humans.
Except,
so, like-
yeah,
With
it's
humans.
So like they
With
attached their face to people's anuses, and so like they would feed the front, right? And so to see how many people it would go through, like if they all lived or something, right?
I'm thinking about it as me as the head. You need to stop sitting by me because you're on my ass every single time we talk about this.
Girl, this gives me like 2 girls, 1 cup vibes.
Yeah. The
yeah, but
second
they
one's
like
clear
got
because
sewed on.
the first one, the doctor did it, and so it was like you don't see it. But the second one is a guy that watched the first one, and he's not a doctor, and so he does it himself, and he just staples people together. So you see the shit flying out from their mouth.
Sick.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
he would say
I
so.
don't think it is.
You need to watch it. If you're a fan of art, you'll appreciate it.
We are
Fart.
art people, but not that kind of art.
Artsy fartsy.
No,
Like,
that's
literally.
not that fartsy. You know what I'm
It's a little too much.
And the third one's in a prison. Everybody in the prison gets sewn up
Can you
too.
believe they made fucking
saying?
3 of
If
these?
they're in prison,
Yeah.
3 of them.
Depending on what
There's
they
a
did.
third one now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's always been a third one.
if they did that to child
Always.
molesters,
Well, not always. They didn't start in the
Right?
third one.
que lo hagan a los child molesters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are
I
the
I
shit.
prove that. That's
what
what you
I'm
can do when you become president.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we're coming up with such great
Yeah.
Yeah.
ideas.
I think I have my cabinet here.
Yeah.
The fucking, and I told the story, but it was cut from a recent episode. The Tony, you were here when I told the story about Tony Lopez. He was in the news
Oh,
because he got caught with a bunch of fucking child porn, and he's from my neighborhood.
Oh
We
yeah.
grew up together, and that whole family's always been a bunch of psychos. And like when this kid was in kindergarten, he got in a fight and he beat the shit out of this kid. And when the kid was on the ground, he fucking peed on him.
Oh.
So like the kid's always
I've
been
heard you say this before.
the kid's always been like
Crazy.
a psycho.
Weirdo.
And so now he's got caught with all that child porn. How many has it been in this year alone? Like people caught with child porn and like child molesters
like
and shit,
Fucking many.
Like 60 something.
and
right?
nothing's going on.
Yeah.
Nothing's
So
happening.
actually today they it's a family. Like I feel like I'm not a person to judge, like, but it does suck seeing people in that position. So this happened in Caldwell. It's somebody in my age. I don't know him personally, but I know his family very well, and they're very well known in the community in Blackfoot. So it's really hurtful to see somebody like that high up in the community that this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
He's a teacher, and he got involved with minors. He's 34,
Mm-hmm.
so he's my age. So 16-year-olds or something like that, and like, dude, that's crazy.
When I was in junior high, I was friends with like all the cheerleaders and shit, and we're walking down the hallway one day, and I'm walking with my friend Allison, and this girl named Cecily was in front of us, and she had a big old butt, and they were wearing their cheerleader outfits that day. And Allison's like, "I dare you to slap Cecily's ass." And I was like, "All right," and so I slapped her ass, and the cops saw, and they were like trying to get me fucking kicked out of school for sexual harassment and shit. And Cecily went and told him, like, yeah, it was inappropriate, but it's not like I don't feel harassed. Like, don't kick him out of school. Like, it was this whole thing. And, like, I got into it, like, arguing with the cop. Like, the cop started fucking talking shit to me in the hallway. And I was like, you're just fucking jealous. You didn't fucking do it, huh, you piece of shit.
Oh my god.
Fast forward to, like, 2 years later, when I'm out of the junior high, I'm at the high school, that cop got fired because he was getting handsy with the junior high girl. So I called it.
Dude, in ninth grade, I've always had, like, I've been skinnier, but I've always had the body I have. And there's, guys that are obviously inappropriate. There was a friend in our group, and he came up behind me, and I'm used to, like, being harassed, to be honest.
Which
And-
is sad.
yeah.
You know that, like, we have to be like that.
Yeah, so I'm very, like, if you fucking touch me, you're gonna get my hands on you. So he came up behind me and he was joking around, and he like put his hand, like he went from here down to my thigh. And the second I felt it like coming, I just boom,
Damn.
sock in the face. And the person right behind him was a teacher. Maria!
And you're the one that got in trouble.
I got in trouble.
How do teachers not think there's like probably a good reason behind that?
No, and I mean, anybody
Just
that knows
randomly
me
punch
knows
a
I'm
dude.
super kind, and I would never like raise my hand.
Yeah,
at
like you
anybody.
don't seem like even
Yeah.
as like a teenager, you would be the kind of person that
Yeah.
would just be like,
I'm gonna
I
punch
was
this
shit
dude.
for no
hurt.
reason.
I was honestly hurt that she was like called me to attention instead of being like, "What did you do?" Because he's trashy.
Yeah.
You
Like
know?
if anything, like at least have it be like both students so that you can figure it out.
Well, we ended up going to the principal, and I told him what happened, and he got in trouble. We both got suspended. We got in school suspension.
That's fucked. I don't know.
But-
I don't think you should have.
I don't think I should have either.
That's how schools are. Like they want the victim, the kid, that something happens to them, to not react and just go tell somebody. But the thing is that like
They do that.
teachers,
You not
they
hacen caso.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't do nothing. So
You
like,
have to react.
for our kids, we do tell them like, hey, if someone is doing something to you, like, yes, use your words first, and if they don't listen, that's when you like put your hands on them.
I think that's fair.
But we're not like, also don't be the bully, right?
Right,
But,
yeah.
like, you have to defend yourself.
I tell my kids to be
I
bullies.
tell my kids too. I'm like, you better not be the one starting it, but you better be the one finishing it.
That's
I tell
right.
my kids to be bullies. So that they don't get
You're
bullied.
poor girl.
you know?
Well, I hope you can take on whoever the parent is of
can.
whoever they bully.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. What are the parents going to do? Try to get me to go to
Beat your
therapy? Or
ass
something?
up.
They won't do anything. We don't live in those times anymore.
Uno nunca sabe.
That's why it's better just to be the bully. I'm pro bully. I'm pro crime too. See what I mean?
Well,
Isn't
our
this
president, y'all.
Isn't
Yeah, I was about to say.
Is it-
I think your presidency like elections
this-
is like starting to go.
okay, that's
Yeah,
what
we can start
that's-
the impeachment process.
that's what they said about Trump when he got them 34 felonies, and look at him now.
3 impeachments.
No, they
already.
just all
Yeah.
try to rationalize it. They're like, well,
Yeah.
actually.
And I don't mind being impeached because obviously you can be impeached and still be president.
Yeah.
I used to think, like, growing up stupidly
Right.
enough, impeach, well, he's gone.
Means you're done, yeah.
But no,
what I used to
apparently not.
That's what I always fucking thought.
No, we were wrong.
3 later.
We were all wrong. But isn't this quite a different pace from
Oh, yeah.
the right wing podcast on which you feature usually?
Definitely.
The gayest, most pro crime, pro bullying podcast you could ever be on.
Learned about human centipede.
Yeah, human centipede and vaginal health.
Vaginal health.
I don't know, important
You know,
topics.
I'm kind of glad like they didn't go in there. That they did it, through my stomach.
Yeah.
Because they went in through my belly button first, and then
They're like, they blow it up, no?
they did.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was the worst thing for
Yeah,
me.
she sent me a picture and it
Yeah.
was like,
I looked. 6
I thought you were
going to
fart it out. What was it though? It came out your shoulder?
That's
How the hell is
she
that?
gets rid of it, right?
No.
Yeah, no,
I thought you.
I don't think so. I didn't fart the whole time, so
Obviously, not todo el día.
I assumed you were gonna be like all over the room like a fucking balloon,
like a balloon.
like a balloon.
No,
Cartoons.
I
All around
think
the
it was it Saturday? No, it was Friday that I started like all of a sudden, and the doctor told me before I going to surgery, he's like, hey, just so you know, like a lot of people complain about this. It's a common complaint that because we blow you up, like that air has to go somewhere when you're healing. So usually it like ends up in your shoulder.
That's weird.
Yeah. And I've heard of that. And 2 of my friends that had surgery like in the same area told me the same thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, that was the worst part about healing. And yeah, like there was a day where I was like, dude, I kind of like right here. And he said it might even feel like you're having a heart attack.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it wasn't that horrible for
Don't
me,
sweat
but
it though. You're
I,
good.
But
I
if it
just,
is a
like-
heart attack,
Yeah.
no, like I did feel it
Maybe
maybe
call.
5 minutes. Honestly, like I was like, oh dude, like they weren't kidding. It's starting to happen. And then I was fine.
so you didn't
But-
have to fart it out, but you had to put your arm under your.
Like I was just like,
Well, I,
Is that what you really did?
That's how you got. That's how you
I
get rid
don't
of it.
know. I was about to ask you. Like,
You had
so
to
how do
do
you
armpit
get that?
farts?
yeah. No,
How do
I
you
have
get
a
it
friend
out?
that just had the gastric sleep.
okay.
And they do the same thing. They blow up your stomach and then they do it like from the outside. And she said the same thing. She's like, yeah, the doctor just said I'll probably be farting for a little bit, to get.
See, that's what I assumed you were
but-
gonna happen. but
I,
Yeah.
No
I
fart.
wasn't farting until like I ate some onions today. But
Onions?
Do onions don't make you farty?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever paid attention.
I know. I'm like,
Like I'm always kind of farty anyway, but onions definitely push me over the.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's onion specifically,
Something. Something
maybe.
What makes you farty, Iverice?
I don't know. Like, I've never actually paid attention.
You've never, but you are farty though.
Oh, but yeah.
Yeah.
when I would be pregnant, when I'd be pregnant or had like when I was breastfeeding, I know the things that caused me to be farty was like garlic, onions, what's the radish? Radish.
Radishes?
Radishes were really bad.
That one's surprising.
And broccoli.
Yeah, typically
Broccoli.
it's like broccoli,
So you kinda have, like,
cauliflower,
tacos, basically.
frijoles.
Pretty much
Yeah, like
anything with a
tacos,
lot of
basically.
with a lot of
I
fiber.
guess, kind of.
All the taco stuff makes you farty.
Yeah, I was like, you couldn't have tacos basically.
You eat at your restaurant and then just fart.
No, we don't do radish. We don't do broccoli. We don't do garlic.
Well, I mean,
Broccoli
I guess
would be
you
kind
would,
of
but
weird. For,
every-
Yeah.
You don't put
Onions.
broccoli in your tacos?
Yeah.
The fuck?
What kind of tacos do you have?
What kind of fucking lame ass shit is that?
Are they even authentic? Yeah. Well, I meant everything but the broccoli.
Yeah, the broccoli on the side.
Yeah. If you want, that's your salad.
I think it's time though because Iverice has a ride because her car broke down.
Oh, what?
I know, it's dumb.
Yeah, but she came anyway, so she's a real trooper.
Yeah.
You fucking pussy.
Oh, it's the wrong button. That was the wrong button.
Fucking pussy.
I was
Look
gonna-
at me again like
I was gonna push the button for our because we end the show by
You didn't do that on accident.
it was an accident.
No, he didn't.
You fucking pussy.
We were fucking-
I don't have that. I'm like,
we end the show by giving a
Valuable life lessons.
valuable life lesson that we learned on the show, and I accidentally hit the wrong button. I hit the you fucking,
Fucking
pussy.
pussy.
I'm sure you did.
You fucking pussy.
They both have really good voices for this medium.
Yeah, I like that me and Maria have made it to your buttons.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So we'll go ahead and tell our most valuable lesson. Life. What the fuck?
Valuable life lesson.
Oh, the stroke over
Valuable
here.
life
You go.
lesson.
You
Yeah,
say
there
it
we go.
first, and then her.
Oh, we'll go.
Say it.
I don't like to start. Who wants to start? You want to start?
I'll start.
Valuable life lessons.
If some lady hits you on your bike, make sure she buys you a new bike.
Make sure you're white.
you already knew that.
First of all, come
Or a
on,
wheelchair.
to a Mexican kid.
I don't know.
You already
Track
knew
it down.
that.
Like, make them buy you a new bike still. Like, I don't know.
New bike.
Make
new-
it-
Like I know
Make
my
them make
mom
it
wouldn't
right.
be suing.
I wouldn't keep it specific to bike. Like if you're on a skateboard or a wheelchair,
Okay, yeah.
get a new wheelchair out of it. You know, whatever.
Your new wheelchair, yeah, very important.
Valuable life lessons.
Yeah,
Who's next?
especially that. Jeez.
Who's next? That was like you really should get a new wheelchair out of it.
The wheelchair's the most important. Like
Like
fuck my bike.
you could have
Like,
lived
get
without
them
a bike,
new wheelchair.
Or what if you get the guy on a wheelchair a new bike?
God,
Oh my god.
it's fucked.
It'd be fucked up.
Valuable life lessons.
Who's next?
What if he could use some of his legs though?
Some of his legs? How many? Is he,
He can kind of pedal a bit.
some of his
He
legs
can't,
like?
fully stand
Is he a
up.
human centipede that you say some of his legs?
No, like he's got like partial.
Partial movement in his
Yeah,
legs to where he
yeah.
could ride a bike.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a
Like
thing?
not probably like
I don't
Tour de
think-
France.
I don't think so.
I think if you have partial movement, that's the last thing you'd be doing.
Yeah.
That's the first thing
That's
I
a
would do.
fairly strenuous thing.
I don't know.
I mean, I
I'm
know
on your
I know
side,
they,
man.
They make people do it sometimes for physical therapy and stuff. You know?
Yeah, I'm on your
Yeah,
side.
but that's
actually.
like different because you
No,
can
it's
like
not.
change the modes
Maybe he
and like
likes
how
it.
much
I
like
don't know this fictional person.
I
Why are
think-
you arguing about this?
This is what your show sounds like sometimes. Arguing about shit that doesn't
Oh my
exist.
God.
Valuable life
This is
lessons.
a totally made up scenario.
A guy who could ride a bike, but he chooses to be in a wheelchair. Who's next? Who's next
You.
for valuable life lessons?
You're next.
I'm still thinking Oscar's next.
Valuable life lessons.
I don't know. Show up on time. I still haven't learned that one.
I haven't learned that either.
Everyone was late today except Maddie. Maddie, congratulations, Maddie. Congratulations.
I was here early with the
That's
Red
true.
Bull,
But then you left.
and then I
came
left.
But
You were
also,
like
if you don't show up on time, I'm a chill guy like that. You know, like the me.
Yeah.
I
like that.
I wish I had the
Had
meme.
Cheech and Chong show up.
I wish I had the. I wish I had
like
the
the little
music from the
dog
meme.
thing, you know?
Yeah, I wish I had the music on here, but all I have is
fucking pussy.
that. Wait, Maddie just called you a fucking pussy.
I don't have the headphones, damn it.
So my
Valuable life lessons.
is I think my valuable life lesson is that if you're running for president, don't talk about how pro-crime you are until after you've been elected.
Valuable life lessons.
I don't know. There was the whole thing that in the first run that he could shoot somebody on the street and still get elected.
Yeah.
So like the awareness
Maybe
is there.
it's a power move.
He's been pretty obvious the entire time.
I like the awareness is
The
there.
key is anything you do fucked up, just say it's a power move. Yeah. I beat up a kid and I peed on him. It's a power move.
I guess I don't understand.
What's yours, Iverice?
Valuable life lessons.
I don't know.
I found mine.
Okay, you go first.
Okay. So next time I get surgery done, I will make sure to ask for my pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life lessons.
They probably
So I
sold
could-
it on Marketplace
Do
or
it
some
for the
shit.
goths.
You know, they knew who I was. They're like, that's
We
the
could have
girl
had
from
it.
Alwa's
On,
Maria.
we could have had it on the jar.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you want me to
Show
sign
and
it?
tell.
Sign it.
Dude, you could sell that at an oddities expo. People would get so hyped.
Hell yeah.
Sell it to Shadow Domain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shut up, play. I don't know what I missed.
Oh,
I had my tubes taken out.
but they didn't give him.
I
The,
caught,
5 days
I caught
ago?
some of that.
but they didn't give him to her.
Yeah.
Who
I didn't know
knows
I
what they
could.
did?
I didn't know. I
So,
didn't know I
yeah,
could
that's
ask
true.
for the pieces.
It's your pieces.
Yeah, you should have them.
I thought you were gonna say like
So-
actually take like a few days off.
You know,
get
better.
surgery.
Ah,
Yeah.
You know,
that's a
Instead
good
of going
one.
right back to work.
That's a good
The
one.
tube
But-
is a good one too. You know.
Well, you survived. You'll be good. I know I'm taking at least one day off after my
You should. You
after my
definitely should.
hysterectomy.
Well, what do you do for work?
They worked at a
Cuts
pallet place.
He cuts
But so like you're like moving around.
It's strenuous.
you're
Strenuous.
out- Yeah,
Yeah.
so you definitely need to. Are you getting it done on a Thursday?
On a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
They only do it on Tuesdays. And that's the thing, though. I'm going to get a note for light work. So I'll be back like 2 days later. I'm going to tell my boss I just want to like stand around with a broom or something.
Valuable
That's what you
life
do anyway.
lessons.
Yeah, which is what I do anyway.
Yeah, doing whatever you were doing that one day
Yeah.
so you wouldn't shit yourself.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Have you guys ever had curry?
Like Indian
What
curry.
kind?
Yeah.
Like what kind?
I went to have curry with these
Red
dudes.
curry?
Like
I took
Yeah,
like
right
a
next door over
tandoori
here.
oven and like
Oh, I
him
don't
and
even-
Christian couldn't handle it, I guess.
No,
I don't know. It gave him the shits
I
and
thought
it was
Christian
too
liked
spicy
it.
for Christian.
Didn't Christ like it?
He liked it, but he only got like a medium and he was
Christ-
like, this is so spicy. And he
Christ-
was like, I don't know
it's
if I
short
can
for Christian.
finish it. And I was
No,
like,
but
what?
Christ asked for tortillas.
He did. He
They
wanted
have that
to
bread. They have that
And I was like,
flatbread.
yeah, they have
Naan.
naan. Get the naan. It's really
Yeah.
good. You dip it in the curry. Man, this
Uh-huh.
is what I fucking want now.
It didn't
That sounds
sit like
good.
bad. Like it wasn't bad to me until the next day. Like I didn't expect that to happen at all. And, and then I just shit 5 times before 8 o'clock. Yeah, there's a lot of poop.
Valuable life lessons.
Oh, that wasn't my valuable life lesson. What was yours?
I don't know. I guess. Think about what you say yes to.
Valuable life lessons.
She's regretting the show. I'm glad this was a long episode because we're never gonna see her
I'm
again.
like, and I was just saying, she learned that there's better, cooler podcasts, and obviously not. That is not the
No,
case.
I
if
guess
you will
that's.
have me, I will come back.
Oh yeah,
I
come on.
think this was pretty.
Valuable
cool.
life
Let's get-
lessons.
I would like a different headset for sure next time.
We're working on that. We can't all be John.
I
or
usually
Sheila.
have fancy
headsets.
ones. I usually have earbuds because my hair is too big.
I do the headsets because of this.
Because of the sounds,
fucking
yeah.
pussy.
Which we've talked about too. Like he has a board, but like we can't use the sounds because we can't
Because you can't hear
hear
it.
them. So I'm just like,
You guys should just do at least earbuds, just so you could use sounds.
yeah.
Sounds are
Again,
tacky.
I just show up. I'm just there.
I'm glad Oscar's back though.
Yeah.
Oscar hasn't been on the show in a long time.
Hi.
He used to be a
Hello.
regular. But
Welcome back, Oscar.
welcome back.
We missed your beautiful eyes.
You had to say that. You had to say something. Oh shit. Well, I think that's it though. We'll end on Oscar's green eyes like we usually do.
They're green.
You've never noticed? It's because you're a fucking 4-eyed freak that doesn't notice shit.
Oh my god.
He's just jealous.
Fucking hate 4 eyes.
Does it?
Pinches cuatro ojos.
Yeah.
At least you're wearing contacts. You're not.
He's not
Oh,
wearing
it's not
like
natural.
No.
he's not wearing like a color that like makes him pop today. They almost
No.
look brown right now.
Yeah, I've been wearing a lot more green lately, but today I went with.
They look like really pretty.
Yeah.
Like Hulk.
Yes.
Hulk was one of my favorite superheroes when I started.
Oh, look, the mirror. I can see myself.
Oh.